All right, 5:45. Welcome to ScamAware 101 live stream. Get started momentarily here. Just checking on various live streams, making sure we're good. Over there on Instagram, we're streaming. Over there on Facebook, we're streaming. And over here on YouTube, we're streaming. Excellent. Hey, if it's your first time joining us, my name is Jared with ScamAware 101. And our mission is to spread awareness about common scams. And one of the ways we do that is by doing this free weekly scam awareness live stream. And on this live stream, we'll cover about 20 different types of scams. And these are scams that target individuals. So everyone should be aware of these scams. These aren't just scams that are targeting businesses or employees. These are scams that target individuals. They target you directly. They target your loved ones. And they're all important to be aware of. We'll also go over some red flags to help you identify and prevent scams. You know, the sooner you're able to recognize a scam, the better. You want to recognize them before sending any money to the scammer. And these red flags, being able to identify these red flags are key to spotting and preventing a scam. And we're also going to share real examples of these scams. We're going to show email examples. We're going to play some phone call examples. We're going to show you some text message examples. We're even going to show you some snail mail examples, meaning traditional postal service scams. And all the examples that we're going to share and go over are fairly recent too. Most of them are within a year old. Some of them are a matter of months old. They're all active scams that are currently circulating and important to be aware of now. And we believe that scam awareness is key to avoiding becoming a victim. So anyway, we do this live stream every week. That's one of the ways we help spread awareness about these scams. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us spread awareness. The more subscribers we get, the more likes we get, the more our content will be shown. And you could help us spread awareness by hitting the like button and subscribe buttons. If you're in the chats right now, hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Say hi in the chats. Let us know that you're watching. We'll see if we get some more live people, or see if we get some more people into this live stream. The chat that I'm monitoring the YouTube chat. So if you want to ask a question or say hi, I'll see it over here on one of the YouTube chats. I'm not really monitoring the Facebook or Instagram chats, but talk amongst yourselves and hit that like button anyway. Let's see if we get some more people in there. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. We're going to start going over some of these common scams to be aware of. Again, these are all recent scams. And in the meantime, again, hit that like, thumbs up button. You can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and of course, YouTube. So hit that like button. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can also join our free email list on scamaware101.com. Join the free email list. We'll send you some scam awareness tips and reminders about when we're going live. All good stuff. You can unsubscribe at any time, but I don't think you'll want to. And we're going to get started. We're going to jump into some scams in about 2 minutes here. It's giving everybody a chance to join. Any last minute people get in here. Again, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I'm not really monitoring the viewer count, so I have no idea who's watching unless you say hi in the chat and let me know. And while we're waiting to get started here, feel free to share this live stream, repost it, see if we get some of your loved ones in here too. Get started in about 1 minute. Is our website, scamaware101.com. You can hit join mailing list right here on our website. It's free to join. And also we have links to all our social media pages here too. So if you can't find us on social media at scamaware101, we have links to all of our profiles here right on our homepage. Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. We try to share some useful scam awareness content and warnings on our social media pages. Get started here. A couple more seconds. Again, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, say hi in the chat. Let's see if we get some more people in here. But, you know, we're getting started because you're here and you came here to learn about some scams, right? So if you're just joining us, let me just go over it one more time real quick. My name is Jared. I'm with ScamAware 101. And our mission is to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals just like you. We do this weekly live stream as one of our ways to spread awareness of these scams. And this evening, we're going to go over about 20 different types of scams that target you. We're going to go over red flags to help you recognize and prevent these scams, prevent yourself from becoming a victim, or prevent a loved one from becoming a victim. And we're also going to show you some real examples of these scams to help you recognize them easier when you're a target. We're going to show you some emails. We're going to play some phone calls. We're going to show you some text message scam screenshots. We're going to show you some snail mail scams, traditional mail that's still, the scammers are still sending out letters too, right? So lots of good stuff coming up on this live stream here. We're going to go for about 3 hours. Usually go for 3 hours. Sometimes we go up to 4. Depends how caffeinated I get and how many viewers we get over here in the chat. So again, say hi. Let me know you're watching. And as we go through these scams, let me know in the chat if you've encountered these scams before. A lot of the scams that we're going to go over this evening, we have videos about some of them on our YouTube channel too. So a lot of the examples we're going to show later on, you can go check out the video about that scam and share it with a loved one too. So again, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. And with that said, we're going to get into this and start with going over some common scams. Now, the first scam we're going to start with this evening are arrest warrant scams. That's right, arrest warrant scams. What this is a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. And sometimes this type of scam is also called a jury duty scam, because a lot of times the scammer will claim that an arrest warrant is being issued because you missed jury duty. So this scam is important to be aware of. There's lots of alerts and warnings from local law enforcement regarding this scam. In the video we did about this scam on our YouTube channel, we showed some clips from local law enforcement, sheriff's offices warning us about this scam. Because when you think about it, the scammer is impersonating law enforcement, right? And law enforcement doesn't like to be impersonated. So there's lots of warnings about this scam. It's extremely common right now. We're seeing more reports of it coming in. And it's important to be aware that if somebody calls you claiming that there's an arrest warrant that's going to be issued for you, maybe they'll say because of jury duty, maybe they'll say that some accident that happened years ago. But the point is, they're going to say, if they're going to say arrest warrant or threaten you with an arrest warrant, be aware that this is a very common scam. And something else to be aware about this scam, and overall important to be aware of, if you take away anything from this live stream, let me start off with the one key point here, that caller ID can be manipulated by scammers. That means when they're calling you and they're impersonating the sheriff's office, your caller ID might show the sheriff's office's phone number. We know that the scammers, especially these arrest warrant scammers, they're showing law enforcement's phone number on the caller ID. So be aware of this scam. It's circulating a lot, lots of warnings coming out from local law enforcement. And again, we did a video about this scam, so go check that out on our YouTube channel. We also share some examples of fake paperwork that these scammers have been providing. Right? So basically, how the scammer calls you on the phone. The caller ID will show the sheriff's office. The scammer will say they're from the sheriff's office, and they'll even claim that they have paperwork to send you proving that there's an arrest warrant that's going to be issued. So scary stuff. If you're not aware that it's a scam, it could catch someone off guard. It could scare them, and oftentimes the scammer will just trick them into making a payment and getting money from them. So be aware of these arrest warrant scams, sometimes referred to as jury duty scams. Check out the video on our YouTube channel, and let me know if you encountered any of these in the chat. I want to hear if you got any of these phone calls or any unsolicited contact claiming there's going to be an arrest warrant issued. Which, by the way, if you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. We do this weekly live stream every week to spread awareness about common scams. We just started off with explaining a common scam known as an arrest warrant scam, sometimes referred to as a jury duty scam. We have a lot more scams and examples to show you this evening on the live stream. So stay tuned. Let me know you're watching in the chat here. Hit that thumbs up and share your experience in the chat. I want to hear from you. I want to know what happened to you. What scams are you encountering? What red flags are you seeing? Have your friends fallen for any scams lately? Right? Spreading awareness is important, and as a community, we have to do that. And also, we're streaming on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So say hi. Let me know you're watching in the chat. I'm actively monitoring the YouTube chat, so say hi in the YouTube chat, and I'll respond to you in there. And by the way, we usually do these live streams every Thursday. I'm going to be away this Thursday, though, so we bumped it up a couple days. So we don't usually do these live streams on Tuesday. It's usually on Thursday, but you could always see an updated schedule on our website here under upcoming events, and you can see the most current event schedule, the live stream dates and times. We go back to Thursdays again starting next week. We're just doing Tuesday this week just to get one in here. We also have the schedule on our Facebook events page too. So make sure to follow us on Facebook, and you can see the schedule on there as well. Now with that said, let's continue talking about scams. The next scam we're going to talk about are bank impersonation scams. Now we're seeing a lot of reports of these lately. And bank impersonation scams, they've been around for a while, and they're targeting us from all different directions. You know, we're constantly seeing emails that claim to be from the bank, but they aren't from our bank. You know, these emails try to trick us into clicking malicious links and giving away our personal information, but they're not from the bank. We're seeing phone calls coming in from scammers impersonating the bank too. And as mentioned earlier, the caller ID could be manipulated by these scammers. So they'll call you up, they'll impersonate the bank, and the caller ID will even show your bank's phone number. And we also know that there's text messages being sent by scammers impersonating your bank. So it's an extremely common scam. Anything you hear, any unsolicited contact that mentions your bank account, it should be a red flag. Move carefully. Contact your bank directly to confirm any communications that you're getting, whether it's an email, text, phone call. Hang up and call the bank directly if you're concerned it's real. Let's talk a little bit more about bank impersonation scams. Basically, scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers who were impersonating the bank. As mentioned earlier, the caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, even though it's a scammer. And a couple other things to keep in mind is the scammer might actually know which bank you use. A lot of our personal information is out there. Some detail like the bank that you use, that type of information gets revealed all the time when third-party services get breached. You know, third-party services we used that we've provided our bank account to for whatever services, or background checks or anything like that, anything we might have provided our bank information to is vulnerable to getting stolen by scammers. So a lot of times these scammers know what bank you have already. So they know what banks to impersonate when they call you. So between calling you, claiming to be the bank that you actually use, and the caller ID showing the bank's phone number, you could see how someone could be convinced that it's the bank on the phone. And that's why bank impersonation scams are so dangerous. They're very convincing. We know that these bank impersonation scammers, they'll call up, they'll show the bank's phone number on caller ID, and they'll even tell you, look at the back of your card, your bank account card, debit card, and confirm the number matches caller ID. But that's a scam. The scammer knows that's going to match because they manipulated it. So you can't trust that. What you have to do is you have to hang up and then call your bank back directly. And let's show you an example here of a bank impersonation text message scam. There's actually a story attached to this example here. So this was provided by a friend of mine. She received this text message. But before receiving this text message, she got a phone call. And the caller ID said it was TD Bank. All right, she didn't answer. Right after not answering the phone call, she received this text message. And this text message also impersonates TD Bank. So you can see how these scammers, they'll use multiple ways to communicate with you. They'll try to call you first, you don't answer, they'll send you a text message. And in this case, what this scam is they're trying to claim that there's an issue with the account. There's a transaction that you didn't make. There's suspicious activity, right? That's how this scam works. This text message says, verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to trick the victim into thinking that this is a alert from their bank. You know the type of alert you get when you use your credit card, maybe you're traveling, you use it out of state, right? And you'll get these alerts sometimes because it's considered suspicious. And that's what this scammer is doing. But since it's a scam, they're trying to trick the victim into replying with no. No, I didn't make this transaction. And that's how the scam works. If you reply back with no, the scammer is going to continue impersonating the bank. They're going to try to get you on the phone. They're going to try to get you to provide personal information. And they're going to go through with some scam narrative. So there's a few red flags to help you recognize this text message is fake. One of the first giveaways is it doesn't indicate the bank account that's referencing. If this had really been from your bank, it would have indicated the account by saying the last 4 digits of or some kind of other indicator so you would know which account it was referring to. So that's red flag number 1, that this text message isn't from your bank. The second red flag is it actually came from a phone number, like a real phone number. And what I mean by that is it didn't come from one of those short codes. Most banks, when they send you a notification, it comes from one of those short code numbers. It'll only show a 5-digit number instead of a full phone number. Right? You know what I'm talking about. You've received those text messages. Sometimes they're automated, but they'll be like 5-digit. Instead of showing a phone number, it'll be a 5-digit short code number. Right? And in the case of banks, most of them, if it's a notification from them, it's not going to show a phone number like this. It's going to show a 5-digit short code number. And in the case of TD Bank, in this situation, that's a red flag. Because we know if this had been from TD Bank, it would have actually come from a short code, not a whole phone number. But then the other indicator that this is a scam text message is the capitalization is strange. Right? The C in card is capitalized for no reason. The T in transaction is capitalized for no reason. The N in not is capitalized for no reason. There's just strange capitalization all throughout the text message, which is always a red flag that you're not really dealing with a legit source. Unfortunately, that red flag is becoming less and less common because scammers use AI now. They're using AI and they're able to generate very realistic sounding and looking scam text. But when you do see it, when you see strange capitalization or grammar errors, spelling errors, it is a red flag when you do see that. So keep that in mind. But anyway, so that's kind of 3 indicators that this text message isn't really from the bank. It's a scam text message impersonating TD Bank. And bank impersonation scams are a serious threat right now that you should be aware of. One last note about these bank impersonation scams. I just want to talk about this victim's story real quick. We have a victim here. It was an article from last year on Yahoo. And the victim said, I feel so stupid. This young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering trusted Wells Fargo number. How to spot and avoid similar schemes. All right, so that's what happened to her. She got a phone call from a scammer impersonating her bank, but the caller ID showed Wells Fargo's phone number. So she thought she could trust it. And in her case, the scammer called up and said she had to send money on Zelle. The scammer claimed to be from the bank, and she was instructed to transfer money using her Zelle account. Which, by the way, that's a red flag too. When someone calls you up, starts telling you to do things on Zelle, it's a big red flag. Scammers like being paid in Zelle. But anyway, in her case, it was an email. In her case, it was a phone call from Wells Fargo. Right? In this other example, it was a phone call and text message claiming to be TD Bank. So there's really no bank that scammers aren't impersonating. So be aware of these bank impersonation scams, whether you're being contacted through email, phone, text message, any communication claiming to be from the bank, be suspicious. Don't trust links. Don't trust phone numbers that it says to call. How are we doing out there? Let me know you're watching a live stream. I don't really see a viewer count, So I have no way to know if anybody's watching unless you tell me. So say hi in the live stream. Let me know you're watching. If I see your comment, I'll do my best to get back to you. I'm currently monitoring the YouTube chats, so say hi in there. Ask your questions in there, and I'll answer here on the live stream. If you're just joining, I'm Jared with Scam War 101. We do this weekly live stream to spread awareness about common scams. We're a few scams in here, but we have plenty to go. We go over about 20 different types of scams on this live stream. We go for a few hours here, all good, useful information, all accurate and relevant for today. As in, all these scams are active, current. And they could target you. Now, the scams we cover here, they all target individuals. This isn't employee training or company data, protect the company data training. This is about scams that target individuals. You can join our free mailing list by going to scamaware101.com and hitting join mailing list. It's free to join. Unsubscribe at any time, and we'll send you some reminders when we're going live. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips. We won't abuse the privilege, though, I promise. So join scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're streaming right now on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you're watching a live stream, let me know in the chat in the comments. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Reshare it. We got plenty more content to go for the next couple hours here. So reshare that live stream now, and we'll get some more people in here. Got plenty to go. Next scam that we're going to talk about this evening is tech support scams. We did a video about this scam. I definitely recommend that you check it out and share it with your loved ones. We have it on our YouTube channel. It's called Tech Support Scams, or Fake Virus Alerts. And this scam, a lot of older folks end up being the victims of this scam. So it's important to be aware of, whether maybe you're the older folks that should be aware of it, or you have some older loved ones in the family that you should make aware of it. Well, it's important to be aware of these tech support scams. And how they work is often victims receive a fake virus alert on their device and are tricked into calling a fake tech support phone number. All right, so that's one of the things that's kind of unique about this scam, is it tricks the victim into calling a phone number, instead of calling the victim directly. There have been some cases where victims are contacted over the phone, and the scammer impersonates Microsoft or impersonates McAfee, for example, and claims there's issues with your computer. But that's less common. The more common version of a tech support scam are these fake virus alerts. And anybody could be susceptible to these. You're just browsing the internet, minding your own business, and then boom, you get a fake virus alert, fake virus pop-up. Doesn't matter what type of device you're on, whether you're on your computer, your mobile phone, your mobile device, whether you're on a Windows computer or a Mac device. And if you're browsing the internet on it, you can get one of these fake virus alert pop-ups. And then what happens is, if you call the fake tech support number on one of these pop-ups, the victim gets connected to a scammer who requests access to your device. The scammer then steals personal and financial information. All right, so that's how these tech support scams work. And look, they're convincing. And I have a bunch of examples. We're going to spend a little time on this one. I have a ton of examples of these fake virus alerts to show you, just to give you an idea of what you're dealing with here. And here's the first couple I'm going to show you. They're just some generic versions of these fake virus alerts, just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with. But then I'll show you some more convincing ones. Right? So here's example one. You're browsing the internet, mind your own business. Boom, morning, 5 viruses detected. Our latest scan has detected five viruses that may steal your personal info. And it says, call us immediately at, and it has a number. Right? And then it follows up with a whole bunch of scary things that are going to happen if you don't call, supposedly. Right? It says system crashing, file deletion, theft of personal data, Wi-Fi loss, infections on your other devices, right? All scary stuff. But if you call that phone number, you'll be connected to a scammer. And that's how the scam works. One of the big giveaways or tells about these fake virus alerts is if it has a phone number, if it shows a phone number to call, it's not real. Real virus alerts won't have a phone number to call. Here's another example. And again, this is just a generic looking example. I'll show you some more convincing ones shortly. But warning, check your computer now. What to do? Call, has a number to call immediately. Data exposed to risk. Your credit card details, email passwords, Facebook, private photos. Right, all scary stuff. Someone might not think this through and they'll just call that phone number. But they'll be connected to a scammer. And then a scammer tries to connect to their computer. That's how a tech support scam starts. Here's one more generic example here for you. Big red letters, warning. Your computer may be infected. To remove viruses, call tech support online now. And that has a number to call. In this example, you can see the address bar up top here. So if you're computer savvy, you could tell, like, all right, this is just a web page. This isn't a virus pop-up. This is actually just a web page. But if you're not computer savvy, or you're easily scared, made nervous, or worried about your computer having a virus, you might not think. You see this pop-up, you freak out and just call the number. But it's a scam. And that's the worst thing you could do is call that number. Because that's how this scam works. They try to trick you into calling that number, but you're actually calling a scammer. When it comes to these tech support scams, only let people you know and trust actually onto your computer. Don't let a stranger over the internet, even if they're saying this to help you, don't let them access your computer. So I showed you some generic versions of these tech support scams, but let me show you some more convincing ones. This one impersonates McAfee antivirus. Now this one could be pretty convincing, especially if someone knows that they have McAfee already. So they get a pop-up like this and they'll think, oh, it's my antivirus warning me. I better call. But if you call that number, it's going to be scam. There'll be scammers on the other end. And look, these scammers, they're ruthless. These tech support scammers, once they get onto your PC, they go through this whole narrative about somebody stole your identity, your bank isn't safe, you need to log into your bank accounts and need to withdraw money. And they try to clear out everything, these tech support scammers. All right, so the worst thing they can do is call this number. And keep in mind, that's the big red flag and tell, is that if it has a number to call, it's not a real virus alert. Real virus alerts don't have a number to call. Another example, a fake virus alert that leads into a tech support scam. This one impersonates Norton by Symantec. Threats detected. Immediately contact support toll-free helpline. System hard drive may fail. Do not close the page until issue is resolved. Right, all scary stuff. And that's the point of this scam, and why it's so successful is that it's scary. It scares people, and they react quickly in fear. They don't pause and think it through. They just think, oh no, I got a virus. I better call this number, and they don't even stop to think. Wait a minute, is this real? Is this a scam? We just stop, pause. You get a virus alert like this. There's another one. This one impersonates Windows Defender. Has the Windows logo, colors. Access to this PC has been blocked for security reasons. But it's fake. It's a scam. Contact Windows support. But that's not really Windows support. That's a phone number is going to call scammers. And here's one more example. Impersonates Windows Defender again. Has the Microsoft logo. It can be very convincing. Threats detected. Contact Windows support. But that's not Windows support's phone number. It's going to call a call center full of scammers. Because you need to remember, you're up against call centers full of scammers that do this for a living. They're sitting there waiting for you to call. Waiting for people to fall for this scam and to call. So if you get a virus alert that has a phone number, don't trust it. It's a scam. Now, the thing about these tech support scams I mentioned earlier, everybody's susceptible to them. It doesn't matter if you're on a Windows machine or a Apple device. It could be on your desktop computer or your iPhone. Right? It can still target you. So before we wrap up talking about this scam, let me show you a couple fake virus alerts that target Mac users. See, here's this one. Virus found. Your Mac computer has 13 infections. Please call tech support as soon as possible. Apple firewall warning. Your computer has a serious threat, serious virus. It says call Apple support at, but if you call that number, it's not Apple support. It's going to connect to a scammer. So don't do it. But see, this has the Safari logo on it. And again, this specifically targets Mac users. Here's another one. Warning, macOS is infected with your viruses and other malicious applications. And that has the Apple logo and the colors match the website at the time. And this is call Apple support. If you call that number, it's not Apple support. It's going to connect to a scammer. They're going to try to get into access to your PC. They're going to try to steal all your personal information. Actually, one more example is fake virus alerts. Another one targeting Mac users. Warning, macOS is infected with spyware and other malicious applications. You got the Apple logo there. It says, please call Apple support. But it's not Apple support. It's good. It's a number to a call center full of scammers. It's a scam. Real virus alerts won't have a phone number to call. If you see a phone number, you know it's a scam. So that's a tech support scam. Again, they usually start off with those fake virus alerts that I just showed you. It's not just limited to those alerts. It could be plenty of other antiviruses that it impersonates. So be aware of these tech support scams. And if everybody should have their computer person that they know and trust who they call when they have computer problems. So if you ever get a pop-up claiming you have a virus or someone's calling you claiming there's a problem with your computer, don't engage with them. Call your computer guy or girl, right? Whether it's your local computer shop that you bring your computer in for repair, or is that family member that's good with computers, or that tech support person at work, right? Whoever your trusted computer person is, reach out to them. Don't call a phone number that you've never used or called before, right? Just let trusted people that you know and trust onto your device. Never let strangers on your device, no matter how scary the alert might be, right? Take a picture of the alert, send it to your computer friend, your tech person. So anyway, those are tech support scams. Be aware of them, watch out for them, especially the older folks that might be watching, or the older folks that are in your family and love. You know, go share that. Again, we did a video about this one, these tech support scams, these fake virus alerts. We did a video about it. You can find it on our YouTube channel. And it has all those examples that we just shared with you now in it. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and go check out those videos later, and you can share that tech support scam video with a loved one. Get the word out, and repost it. Repost some of these videos on Facebook or whatever platforms you use. It can help us spread awareness by sharing our content. Let me know if you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Looks like our stream's still going good. We're on Facebook and Instagram Live. Just say hi in the chat if you're watching us on there. Say hi in the comments. Let us know in the chat that you're watching. Hit that like button. Reshare it. We're still going to be going for at least another two, maybe even 3 hours. So we got lots of good stuff coming up here. So like, reshare. Still plenty to go. I'm monitoring the chat over here in the YouTube streams. So head on over to our YouTube channel and say hi in the live stream chat. Let me know you're watching. Not really monitoring the viewer count, so I might be sitting here talking to myself for all I know, but that's fine. Which, by the way, you can join our free email list over on scamaware101.com. Go on over there and hit join mailing list. Next scam we're going to be talking about here is probably one of the most common scams circulating right now. And a lot of you might have already received text messages of this type of scam here. But they're road toll scams. And these started popping up last year, about the middle of last year, end of last year. But they've only become more common since. And almost everybody I know has received a fake road toll text message. Every week, new versions of this scam are being sent to me. You know, the scammers are constantly updating what the text message says. what the fake alert says. And it's been nonstop. They've been impersonating all sorts of toll service agencies. They've been impersonating the DMV. We've seen cases where they impersonate SunPass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Good to Go, Easy Pass, North Texas Tollway Authority, Fast Track, Drive Easy Maryland, Easy Drive Massachusetts, and a bunch more that aren't even listed here on this screenshot here. And how these fake road toll scams work is basically the scammers impersonate road toll services like Easy Pass, SunPass, Fast Track, and they claim that an unpaid toll is due. Victims are usually contacted by text message or email containing a link to pay. However, the link opens a fake website designed to steal any personal or financial information entered by the victim. There never was an unpaid toll due. We did a video about this scam last year, I believe. And we shared tons of examples of this text message scam, but there's been so many different updated examples that have come out since we released that video. So I'm going to share some examples with you right now. So here's one example of an unpaid road toll text message. Final reminder, toll payment deadline approaching. Your outstanding toll fee is due by March 28th. Failure to pay may result in suspension of vehicle registration, financial penalties, damage to your credit score. All right, make the payment right away to avoid these consequences. Thanks. THX. They spell thanks. Which, by the way, that's a red flag. You're not dealing with a legit company. But anyway, so the text message bite might be similar to this. And notice it threatens things. Suspension, financial penalties, you're going to damage your credit. They try to scare you, like so many of the other scams that we already talked about and will talk about. They try to scare the victim into reacting. There's another one. And notice, in this case, this one came from a phone number outside of the U.S. But we've seen plenty of cases where it's come from phone numbers inside the U.S. too. The toll road's notice of toll evasion. You have an unpaid toll bill on your account. To avoid late fees, pay within 12 hours, or late fees will be increased and reported to the DMV. It has a link to a fake website. Also, notice this instruction towards the bottom of the text message where it says, please reply yes and exit the text message and open it again. When you see that instruction at the bottom of the text message, it's a red flag. Scammers want you to reply, and when you reply and reopen, it activates their link too. So scammers include that instruction often on their text messages. So a lot of the examples we'll be looking at tonight, we'll notice that instruction, and I'll point it out as we see it too. But again, this is just another example of an unpaid road toll text message scam. Here's another one. Pay your fast track lane tolls by January 24th to avoid a fine and keep your license. You could pay at. It's got a link to the fake website. There's that instruction at the bottom about replying yes that I mentioned. Show you another one. Easy Drive Massachusetts reminder. Your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. There's a link to the fake website to pay and avoid additional fees. And it has that instruction again about replying yes and reopening. The red flag to be aware of. So you can see all these different variations of road toll scam text messages. We've even seen versions where you get a text message and it has an attachment. Which, by the way, never open attachments in unsolicited text messages, unsolicited emails. It could worst case, it could have a virus that infects your device. But best case, it links you to a fake website. So it's never good to open any attachments that you weren't expecting that came from unsolicited sources. But again, in this example of unpaid road toll text message, it just has an attachment. But if you open the attachment, which you never should, it has a PDF that looks like this. It goes into this whole story, toll violation notice. And it has a link to pay now, but it's going to take it to a fake website. And this one claims to be from the Toll Enforcement Authority. Let's take a look at another example. Please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd. In order to avoid excessive late fees and potential legal action on statements, please pay the tolls in time. Thank you for your cooperation and wish you a pleasant holiday. That's a link to the fake website. And there's that instruction, that red flag instruction where it says, please reply yes and reopen. So let's say you did click on one of those links, which you never should, but if you did, here's an example about showing you what it might look like. Here's an example of a fake website that's impersonating the Washington State Department of Transportation, their Good to Go service. All right, so you get the text message, it says you have a toll due, you click it, it takes you to this fake website. And it's pretty convincing. It has the legit logo, the color theme, it could look pretty convincing. Then you click payment. But any payment details you enter will get stolen by the scammer. That's how this unpaid road toll text messages scam works. Never click links in unsolicited text messages from unknown numbers and you weren't expecting. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered any of these road toll scam text messages. Again, almost every week I get reports of new versions of this scam. If you get a text message claiming you owe a road toll, go find the real website of the service or that real app of the service and check that way if you're concerned that it's a real toll. Now again, make sure that you're going to the real website. Don't click any links. Don't call that were sent to you. Don't call any phone numbers that the scammer sent. Go verify the real website of the service. You confirm that way. But it's a scam. How we doing out there? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So hop on over, hit that like button, reshare it. Reshare it. Let's get some more people in here. We're going to be live streaming for at least another 2 hours, so we got plenty to go. So reshare the live stream, hit like. See if we get some more people in the streams here. I'm monitoring the YouTube chats. So if you want to ask a question or share a story, I'll respond to you over here on a live stream if you type it into the YouTube chat. And if you're just joining, we go over 20 different types of scams on this live stream. We do this every week. That goes to spread awareness. So hit that like button and you can help us spread awareness by hitting like and sharing and subscribing. Join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms or on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and YouTube. We have links to each on our homepage here, scamaware101.com. And look, our goal is to spread awareness of common scams. We're just trying to put something good out there and help. And you can help by hitting like, subscribing. We also have a merchandise store on our YouTube channel where you can purchase a Scamaware 101 coffee mug and a few other things to help support our mission here. Check out the store on our YouTube channel. We also have a link to it on our website. Mouse pads, coffee mugs, things like that. And hey, if you want to help out financially, we'll take it too. Scan that QR code on your screen or go to scamaware101.com/donate. We'll gladly accept your donations. And you can also give us a super thanks too if you want here on YouTube. But donate directly instead. YouTube takes a big cut. So if you only prefer YouTube, that's cool. We'll take YouTube too. But YouTube takes a big cut. So go to scamaware101.com/donate. We get more to fund, so we can put more towards our mission here. But let's continue with some more common scams to talk about here. Wrong number scams. We released a video about this scam, and it's actually our most popular video We got over 99,000 views on this video. We're going to hit 100,000 soon, hopefully. So go check that video out. Help us hit 100,000. But basically what these wrong number scams are is scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies, wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. Right? So if you've ever wondered why you've gotten so many wrong number text messages, this is why. It's a scam. And the thing about these wrong number scams is they could start in so many different ways. It could be something like, excuse me, is this Emma? Or, hey, Anna, I'm Josie. Or just hi. Right? That's all it takes because it wants the victim to reply back and ask, who is this? Who is this? Do I know you? Or I'm sorry, you have a wrong number. That's what the scammer wants. They want to get that reply. So let me show you some examples of this conversation, how it could go. Because if you reply to one of these text messages, not only are you letting the scammer know that you have an active phone number and that you read their text messages, the scammer's now going to start asking information, trying to get your personal details. Here's an example. Right, the message starts out with, I'm Margaret. Are you Lillian? Person replies back, I'm Izzy. I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number. I hope I didn't disturb your good day. Replies back, that's okay. Right, at that point, the conversation should end. It's been established it's a wrong number. There's no reason to keep on going back and forth. But since it's a wrong number scam, the scammer's going to try to continue the conversation. So the scammer replies, thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age? Right. So in this case, they start off by asking age. They're also going to ask for location, name. Here's another example of how a wrong number scam text message might go. Random message gets received. Have a cup of coffee together sometime. Person replies back, who is this? Scammer replies back, sorry, thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number by accident. Hope I'm not bothering you. All right. Victim replies back, no, you're good. Have a great day. At that point, again, conversation should end. It's been established it's the wrong number, but since it's a scam, the scammer continues. Thank you for your kindness to my situation. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? All right. So in this example, they're asking where you're from. And the last example, they start by asking age. In this example, they start by asking where you're from. And once the scammer establishes this information about you, then they determine what scam to proceed with. It might be a romance scam. It might be a pig butchering scam. But the wrong number version of this scam, the wrong number scam portion of this is how the scammer gets new victims to target. When you get a text message that looks like it's from a wrong number, don't even reply. You know, most of the time it's going to be a scam. And the few times that it's not a scam, where it's just legitimately a wrong number, they'll figure it out. It's not worth you replying to scammers just to be kind. You know, unfortunately, you want to be kind. You want to let the person know they got a wrong number, but you're also putting yourself at risk by even replying. So it's best just ignore messages that look like they're wrong numbers. Just ignore them from the start. Most of the time they're going to be scams anyway. You don't even want to reply. You know, if you could tell they're a scam right off the bat, mark them as scam, mark them as junk, and delete them. But don't reply. You don't want to engage with these scammers. Let me show you a few more examples of these wrong number scams. This one came into me and a friend, and it came in. It said, hi. We knew it was a wrong number scam, but we figured we'd reply, use it as an example. So we replied back, hi, who's this? I'm Karina. Are you David? And we met last week at Linda's party, and you picked this number for me. Right? They always give you that fake story about how they got your number. I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. Person replies back, oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you. I reply back, that's okay, no problem. At this point, the conversation should end. Right? But since it's a scammer, he's going to try to keep the conversation going. And they're going to ask information about you. In this case, they reply, thank you very much. You are a very friendly and polite person. I hope we can be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? So in this example, they start off by trying to ask your age. I mean, your name. We replied back. We said Pat. Figured it be a girl or a guy. Maybe we confuse them. And then they replied back, you have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia. Currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? So it goes on to ask where you live. Right, and eventually they'll ask age, and then they determine what type of scam to to target you with. Right? That's how a wrong number scam works. So don't engage with these unsolicited text messages, that appear to be from, they try to be friendly on purpose. They want you to continue a conversation with them. Eventually, if you keep on continuing a conversation, they'll invite you to continue talking onto WhatsApp, a third-party chat app like WhatsApp, which is a red flag. And we're going to talk about that a little later too. But again, we're talking about wrong number scams right now. It's a way that scammers find new victims. So don't reply to that harmless wrong number text message that you get, because it may not be so harmless. I'm going to show you one more example of a wrong number scam. Another one. This one came into me. Hi, Byron. I'm Jane. And it has a picture of a woman. And then 4 hours later, on the dot, it says, have you gotten the pictures I sent? So there's a few things that are important to recognize about this scam. One, they will include a picture. They will include something to try and convince you to reply. All right. And now in this case, even though there was no reply, 4 hours on the dot, the scammer sends a follow-up text. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? So what's important to notice about this is there's not someone sitting on the other end just sending these texts, right? This is a bot. They're using software, they're automating the process, and they're sending out hundreds of thousands of these text messages a day, right? And then the bot's programmed where if you don't answer, it's programmed 4 hours later on the dot to send you a follow-up, all right? And in this example, you could see the initial message came in at 1:58 p.m. There's no reply, and then the follow-up comes at 5:58 p.m., 4 hours on the dot, right? So that's just how the bot's programmed to work. Now, I mentioned earlier, this was our most popular video on our YouTube channel. We got almost 100,000 views on that video, but we also received a lot of comments on that video, and we shared this example in the video. And in the comments, a lot of people replied saying they received this exact same text message, exact same picture. All right, so it's confirmed. If you get a text message like this, it's not your lucky day. If you reply back, it's actually going to be a scam. They try to build up your trust. They'll try to get a conversation going with you. And then eventually, usually a few days later, they'll tell you about some trading platform that their family member uses and how to make it so much money with their family member who gives them trade tips. They might mention cryptocurrency. Or they might just go straight for a romance scam. But the point is, you get messages like these, don't trust them. They're wrong number scams. No matter how friendly they appear to be, no matter how innocent and harmless they appear to be, don't engage. That's how a wrong number scam works. So you go check out our video about those too. All the examples we shared in the video. Our YouTube channel. So make sure to check that later. Subscribe so you don't forget. And help us spread awareness by subscribing, clicking like, sharing our videos, sharing our content. We've been posting a lot on Facebook lately, so definitely follow us on Facebook. If you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. We're wrapping up our first hour here, but we got 2 more hours to go at least. We start at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We usually go for about 3 or 4 hours. Our goal here is to spread awareness. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Our mission is to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals just like you. But awareness is key. Being aware of these scams, being able to recognize them, that's how you can be able to protect yourself and protect your loved ones from becoming a victim. Because look, so many people are falling for these scams. There's so many victims out there. And once these scammers get the money, very rarely are you able to recover it. Very rarely. So there's too many horror stories out there. People losing their life savings, retirees losing their retirement money. Scammers take it all. It's not right. So we need to work as a community, spread awareness about these scams. And that's what we do over here at Scamware 101. So make sure to join our free mailing list. We'll keep you updated about when we release new videos. We'll remind you about when we're going live. You can join that mailing list going to scamaware101.com and click and join mailing list. And we also do this live stream every week. So again, we're going to be going for a couple more hours today. So if you haven't shared the live stream yet, Hit share. Let's see if we get some more people in here. Hit that like button. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. So we just got done talking about 5 or 6 different types of scams. Still got about 15 left to go. So lots more coming up on a live stream here. But we're actually going to take a break from the scam examples and talk about some red flags. And these red flags are super important. These red flags are what's going to help you recognize a scam and a scammer when you're interacting with them. Again, we did a video about these red flags. We have it on our YouTube channel. So definitely, if you've seen any useful information that we're about to go over now, all the same slides we used in that video. So you could go share it with a loved one a little later too. But these red flags are super important to be aware of, because as victims share their stories, we learn about these common red flags that were missed. And being aware of these red flags are how you're going to be able to recognize these scams before the scammers take any money. So let's talk about these 5 top red flags. And let me know in the chat if you've encountered these. Let me know about common red flags that you watch out for, that you've experienced. Let me know in the chat. So let's talk about red flag number 1, that you're interacting with a scammer. Right? They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. I mentioned this a little earlier in the wrong number scams. Once they, commonly these scammers, they'll initiate a conversation through more traditional methods like a phone call, a text message, or an email. But once they have communication established, they'll quickly direct the victim to a third-party chat app to continue talking. And those 2 of the most popular ones, we got Telegram and WhatsApp. Right? So if someone you just met on the internet is trying to direct you to continue talking on Telegram or WhatsApp, it's a red flag. Scammers love using third-party chat apps like Telegram or WhatsApp because it's easier for them to communicate with victims in other countries, and it also offers more anonymity for the scammer to hide behind. Right? So again, the red flag is asking you to continue talking on Telegram or WhatsApp or some other third-party chat app. Some scams where that's part of the playbook, right? Where you're gonna, when you recognize these things, where it could save you from becoming a victim. Some scams where that's part of the playbook are romance scams, right? These scammers create fake dating profiles on dating websites to lure in new victims. Then, once they start talking to these new victims through the dating website, they'll tell them to continue talking on WhatsApp or Telegram, usually WhatsApp. All right, so that's a big red flag. If you're doing online dating and the person you meet is like, hey, let's talk on WhatsApp, be suspicious. Just be aware that scammers prefer to use WhatsApp. Wrong number scams. We talked about this earlier, and it starts with a text message probing for new victims. Right? But then the scammer eventually directs those victims to continue talking on WhatsApp or Telegram. They want to get you away from the text messaging back and forth. They want to get you into a chat app like WhatsApp. And then there's investment scams, right? They'll direct a victim to a Telegram or WhatsApp group chat, and they'll use it to pump up an investment, make it appear like there's interest, but they can be bots too. So be aware of this red flag. When someone tells you to keep talking, to continue a conversation, talk to them on Telegram or WhatsApp. It's a big red flag. Be aware of that one. And let me know in the chats if you come across this red flag, if you've experienced it. Red flag number 2. This is a big one. This is probably the most important one to be able to recognize and be aware of. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? It's always a huge red flag. Scammers love these unusual forms of payment because it's much harder for victims to recover the money, and it's also easier to transfer the funds quickly. Right? So we know that these scammers love to receive gift cards, meaning Target gift cards, Apple gift cards, any type of retail gift cards. They love receiving those gift cards. Prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. If they tell you to purchase cryptocurrency, or they tell you to deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM, all red flags. Just hearing the word Bitcoin ATM, that's a red flag. Stop and reanalyze the situation of what's going on. Some examples of scams where it's part of the playbook, where this red flag is part of the playbook. Really, most of them is part of the playbook, but IRS and Social Security scams. Scammers impersonate government agencies and ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. If any agency is claiming to be from the government and they're asking for gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's a scam. Maybe in the future a government will accept crypto, but right now they don't. They certainly don't accept gift cards. So big red flag if someone's asking you to make a payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. Romance scams. Scammers will request gift cards and cryptocurrency from their emotionally attached victim. The victim thinks that they're just sending gift cards to someone they're in a relationship with, right? And then a lot of times they'll be told to deposit cryptocurrency into an account, for their future together. But the victim doesn't actually have access to the account. They end up depositing crypto, but it's all a scam. Once the victim realizes they're not going to be able to get that crypto back, they're not going to be able to get those gift cards back. Then we have the bank impersonation scams. This is when victims withdraw cash from the bank and purchase gift cards and instructed by scammers. And we're going to talk a lot about that on this live stream tonight, how scammers convince victims that your money's not safe in your bank, you need to withdraw it. And then when they withdraw it, they tell them to go purchase something like gift cards or cryptocurrency. All right, big red flag. Any mention of gift cards is a big red flag. So be aware of that. It's red flag number 2 that you're dealing with a scammer. How we doing out there? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like if you're just joining. Try and get some more people in here. And make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. If you're watching on Instagram, hit that heart. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Hit that share button. We're going to be going for a couple more hours tonight. So we have plenty of more examples of scams to show that everybody should be aware of. And right now we're going over some common red flags that are going to help you identify that you're dealing with a scammer. Again, we did a video about these. So these slides, we have a separate video about it too. It uses these slides, so you can go share them later with a loved one too. It's on our YouTube channel, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Red flag number 3, you're dealing with a scammer. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. This is a very common scam. It's on marketplace type websites like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist most often. And the scammer, they'll often impersonate a buyer or a seller, and they'll send a text message to the victim saying, I just want to confirm your phone number or your identity, right? And they'll say, send this code back to me. But it's a scam. What they're actually doing is they're trying to create an account using the victim's phone number, or they're trying to log into a victim's account that's linked to the phone number, or they're trying to reset a victim's password. And what's happening is this code is being sent to the victim's phone as a security measure. But if you give that code back to the scammer, you're going to let them create that account or log into that account, change your password, right? So that's how this scam works. Never trust anybody that's saying they're going to send a code to your phone and you need to get back to them. We know this is a very common scam. And some scams where that's part of the playbook. Just to give you some more details about what could be really happening here. Right? The scammer could be trying to log into one of your accounts. They're trying to log into the account. Your phone gets that code as a security measure. If you give that code to the scammer, you're allowing them to log into that account. Scammer could be trying to reset your passwords and then access your account. You get that code as a security measure to reset the password. You give that code back to the scammer, you're going to let them reset the password and get into your account. And then there's the Google voicemail scams. What these scammers do is they try to create a Google voice account attached to your phone number. And to do that, they need you to reply with the code to confirm. So if you reply with that code, you're allowing a scammer to create a Google Voice account using your phone number. So extremely common scam. Again, we see a lot of marketplace style websites. So be aware of that. Red flag number 3. They will provide a code to somebody asking for a code that they're going to send to your phone. All right. Looks like we finally got some engagement in the chat. It's John. What's up? Good to see you, John. Welcome to the live stream. It's pretty quiet tonight, but we're going to keep on going. To anybody else just joining us, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. not really monitoring the viewer count. So the only way I know you're watching is if you say something in the chat and let me know. We're streaming on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So leave us a comment, hit the like button on them. We'll see if we get some more people in here. And, you know, it helps us spread awareness. You can help our content get out there and spread awareness of these scams by clicking like, subscribe, following, engaging in the chat. It goes a long way. But let's continue with some more red flags here. Red flag number 4, they ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. So we talked about this when we were going over tech support scams earlier in this live stream. And the thing about connecting to your device or PC is scammers love to do that. It's a gold mine for them. They could steal logins and passwords once they're on your device. They could encrypt and steal your personal files, your financial files, your documents, your pictures. They could try to steal your online banking credentials by tricking you into logging in. I mean, it's a gold mine. And once they're on your device, they could set it up so they don't even need you to let them in next time. They get in whenever they want once they install their back door. So that's a big red flag when someone's asking to connect to your PC, even if it's to assist or investigate an issue. Some examples where that's part of the playbook. Right, these fake virus alert or tech support scams that we talked about earlier in the live stream. That's when impersonate tech support, assisting with a virus, was really a trick to gain access to your PC. Fake order scams. Scammers will impersonate customer support to assist with an order, supposedly, but they're really trying to gain access to your device. And there's the fake fraudulent activity. Is when they impersonate a bank or agency investigating fraud. And they'll say, you know, we could check your bank accounts for you. Let me connect your device. We'll look for any suspicious activity. But it's all part of the scam. They're trying to connect your device. So that's a big red flag when someone's trying to connect to your device. Or if you get a pop-up saying to call a number, you know, for support. Don't trust it. Very common scam. You know, when it comes to letting somebody on a device, it should only be a trusted person. Whether it's that trusted person you work with, that trusted family member, the local computer shop down the street that you use, right? You should only let trusted people that you know and have worked with before onto your device. You know, trust strangers over the internet, even if it seems like it's to help assist with an issue like a virus or something. Be suspicious. So that's red flag number 4. You're dealing with a scammer. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered that. And the 5th red flag that we're going to talk about. Red flag number 5. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. So it's extremely common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people. Because the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. Right? So if someone asks you to keep the matter secret, to keep it confidential, that's a red flag. You need to ask yourself why. Some examples where that's part of the scam playbook, right? Asking for confidentiality. We have the grandparent scams. We're going to be talking about this scam in a little bit. But that's when they say a relative is in distress. They've been arrested. They need money. But they'll say the relative is embarrassed. So let's keep it a secret and not tell anybody. But that's part of the scam. They're really just trying to trick you into not talking to anybody about it. Investment scams. They'll say it's an inside tip and not to share it with anybody, or a price is just for you and not to tell anybody, but that's all part of the scam. Inheritance scams. They'll mail letters impersonating law offices regarding a fake inheritance. The letter will request confidentiality because that's actually a pretty common scam, inheritance scams. They don't want you telling anybody about it. Someone might point out there's a scam. And of course, you have the fake fraudulent activity. We talked about this one a few times so far. You know, when they impersonate an agency or bank investigating fraud, a lot of times they'll say you can't tell anybody because it might hinder the investigation. You could ruin the investigation if you start talking to people. So keep it secret. Don't tell anybody. That's all part of the scam. They're just trying to trick you into staying quiet. All right, so that's red flag number 5. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret as an indicator you're dealing with a scammer. And that's 5 red flags. You're dealing with a scammer, right? Again, we did a video about that. If you found any of them useful or missed a portion of that, you go check out the video later. I have it on our YouTube channel. Go share it with a loved one too. You know, these red flags pop up so often when you hear the victims' stories that being aware of them can make all the difference. So if you joined us in the middle of that, I'm just going to review real quick those 5 red flags for you. Red flag number 1 was they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Yeah, if they're trying to get you on a third-party chat program, be suspicious, especially if they try to direct you to WhatsApp. Red flag number 2, they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Again, scammers love these unusual forms of payment, especially gift cards, prepaid cards, any type of cryptocurrency. If they instruct you to go to Bitcoin ATM, that's a red flag, a big red flag. If they ask you to purchase gift cards, it's a big red flag. All right, so that's red flag number 2. They request unusual forms of payments, gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. To use a Bitcoin ATM. Red flag number 3, you're dealing with a scammer. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Extremely common scam. We know about it. We see it a lot on marketplace type websites. So never provide a code that a stranger is telling you they're going to send to your phone. They're up to no good. Red flag number 4, they're dealing with a scammer. They ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. We see this a lot in tech support scams, fake order scams. Right? Don't let these scammers or people you don't know onto your device, even if it's supposedly to help you with support. Only let trusted individuals that you know on your device. And the final red flag that we talked about was they request to keep the matter confidential or secret. Scammers love to keep it quiet. They don't want you talking to anybody. You know, the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. So a scammer's going to make up all sorts of reasons why you got to keep it a secret, why you can't tell anybody what's going on. But that's the red flag. If someone's requesting you to keep the matter secret, keep it confidential, you need to ask yourself why. Because it indicates you're dealing with a scammer. And those are 5 red flags that you're dealing with a scammer. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered those. We'll have a video coming out soon with 5 more. I recommend some that we didn't talk about, and maybe I'll include it in our next video about red flags. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. Do this once a week to spread awareness about common scams. We're starting off our second hour here of the live stream. We got at least another 2 hours or so to go. So plenty of good stuff coming up for you. We're going to cover about 15 more types of scams. I'm going to show you tons of examples from emails and text messages and phone calls. We'll even show you some physical pieces of mail and letters that are circulating that are active scams. All important to be aware of so you can protect yourself and protect your loved ones from becoming a victim. Make sure to join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. Let's go scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. And you can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. Hey, we need as many followers, likes, subscribers that we can get. So go to all of them and hit like, subscribe, follow, help us out. We have links to each on our homepage here. Our username is scamaware101 on all of them. And also, if you want to help us out financially, help support the mission, go to scamaware101.com/donate. We have the QR code on our screen that you can scan. You can donate directly to us through our website, or you can hit that super thanks button over there on YouTube. So if you're watching this video on YouTube, watching a live stream on YouTube, you can hit that thanks button and donate through here. But we get more if you donate directly by going to scamaware101.com/donate. But we'll take it all. We appreciate it. And you can also check out our YouTube shop, our YouTube store. We have our Scamaware 101 travel mugs, coffee mugs, mouse pads, a couple other water bottles, things like that with the logo on here. The idea is you have these things on your desk and nearby, and you're about ready to get scams, but then you see the coffee mug on your desk. Wait a minute, Scamaware 101. This is a scam, right? Or you look down at your mouse pad and you say, oh, wait, Scamaware 101. I better not click that email link. That's the idea. So you purchase some merchandise, help support a good cause over in our YouTube store. So check it out. And now, we usually, during these live streams, we usually take 2 5-minute breaks just to go refill a coffee mug, give everybody a chance to do what they got to do. Take a quick 5-minute break, recaffeinate, and then we continue with the live stream. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, hit like. If you haven't said hi in the chat yet, say hi in the chat. If you have to go refill your coffee mug and get caffeinated, now is the time to do it. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. to do that. All right, stay tuned. We'll be continuing again in 5 minutes. Hit like, subscribe. Let's get some more people in this live stream. All right, 7:05. We're back. Got our Scam Aware 101 coffee mug filled. Getting recaffeinated here for the next hour of our live stream. Got about another hour and a half or so we're going to be gone at least. So lots of good stuff still coming up here. So hit that like button, hit share. Lots of useful information coming up to anybody who might be joining late. So keep spreading the word. If you haven't hit like yet, definitely hit like. If you haven't said hi in the chat yet, say hi in the chat. The more engagement and interaction there is, the more our live stream and our content will get shown to potential viewers, right? So you can help us spread awareness. Right? We're creating the content, we're trying to get it out there, and just by clicking like, you can help. So hit that like button, hit that share button, and help us spread awareness about these scams. You could also join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, reminders about when we're going live. Follow us on your favorite social media, our Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness about common scams. We cover about 20 different types of scams. We share all new examples, including emails, text messages, recordings, letters, all sorts of scam examples to be aware of that are active and currently circulating. You know, the idea is when you see examples of these scams, when you hear examples of these scams, you're more likely to recognize them or similar scams when you're being targeted. So that's why we share so much information on this live stream. It's a lot to take in. So that's why we do it every week. You know, I don't expect you to remember everything we talk about tonight, you know, but that's what the scammers count on, right? They don't want you to remember everything we talked about tonight either. So that's why we just live stream every week. You know, to keep reminding people about these scams. We're going to dive into our next batch of scams here in a minute or two. Also, before we jump into that, one last thing. If you want to help out financially, you can donate. We have the QR code up on the screen, or you go to scamaware101.com/donate. Anything helps. And we'll also take super thanks on YouTube as well. We got that enabled. You could hit the super thanks button and help us out that way. Now, with that said, let's get back to some common scams here to be aware of. And this next scam we're going to talk about are grandparent scams. This is when scammers impersonate a distressed relative claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victim. Right? And this is one of those scams that everybody should be frustrated with. Right? It's called a grandparent scam for a reason. It literally targets our grandparents. It targets our parents, our grandparents, our loved ones. And it uses you as the bait. Right? They impersonate you. They claim that you're the one in trouble and need your grandparents to help. I see a new viewer in the chat here. Hello from Japan. Awesome. Good to see you, man. Welcome to the live stream. You know, the interesting thing about these scam awareness live streams is the same scams are happening everywhere, all across in different countries. They're all encountering the same type of scams. And we'll see that. We'll see warnings about scams over in Europe or Japan. They're the same type of scams that are happening here in the U.S. You know, these scammers know no borders. All right. And speaking of that, a lot of these grandparent scams, since we're talking about no borders, a lot of these grandparent scams actually occur out of the Dominican Republic. And basically what happens is the scammer impersonates a distressed relative that's claiming to need help, who's been arrested. And the scammer will impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract as much as they can from the victim. And what we have here is a webcam recording of one of these scammers performing a grandparent scam. So the guy we're about ready to watch, he's in the Dominican Republic, right? And he's known as an opener. What he does is he's the one that calls the victim. He impersonates the loved one and then impersonates the police officer. And we're going to play a video right now that was actually obtained by one of these YouTubers. He's one of these scam baiters. Shout out to Scam Sandwich. He goes by his name, Scam Sandwich. but he actually hacked into this scammer's webcam and recorded him doing one of these grandparent scams. So if you ever wondered how somebody could fall for this, like, I would never think that it's my loved one. I would never fall for a scammer impersonating a loved one. Let's take a look at this video, and maybe you'll understand why so many people fall for this, because it's very convincing. You know, they impersonate the loved one for only a few seconds. They sound like they're in distress, but let's take a look at the video. Again, this is a grandparent scam. And this guy's knows an opener. He's the one that initially calls the victim.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2, B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
The next.
So again, that's a video of a scammer out of the Dominican Republic, and he's known as an opener. He's the one that reaches out to victims, and he initiates this scam known as a grandparent scam. And you can see for the first 20 seconds, he impersonates the daughter of the victim. But it's real quick. It's only for 20 seconds, and he does an impersonation of somebody crying. So it's very hard to understand and identify. So a quick call, 20 seconds, Ma, I need help, and then it switches over to impersonating a police officer. It can be very convincing. It happens so quickly, the victim doesn't have a chance to really figure out what's going on. So anyway, also, this scammer, the person that recorded this and got into his webcam, recorded this, was able to warn the victim in this case. So the person you just heard on the other end of this scam phone call, she didn't lose any money in this situation. The YouTuber that warned her, again, he goes by the YouTube handle Scam Sandwich, so check out his channel for the full video. But very interesting video. It gives you a peek behind the scenes of what's going on with these grandparent scammers. And also, here's just some couple notes from a recent article about this scam that was originating out of the Dominican Republic. I don't know if this scammer is actually one of the scammers referenced in this article, but it still mentions Dominican Republic and gives us some details here. So basically, NJ Federal Court charges 3 additional Dominicans in grandparent scam. Conspirators engaged in a long-running grandparent or family in need of bail scam against hundreds of seniors across the United States, including New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. As detailed in court filings, members of the conspiracy, referred to as openers, and that's what we just listened to, an opener, called elderly victims in the United States and impersonated the victim's children, grandchildren, or other close relatives. Typically, the victim was told that their grandchild had been in a car accident, was arrested in connection with an accident, and needed help. All right, so that's exactly what we just watched this scammer do. This is the opener. He's doing the same thing that they're mentioning in this article that these Dominicans who got arrested were. So once openers tricked victims into believing their loved ones were in dire trouble. So after this guy gets done, he says, stay by the phone. Others working at the call centers known as closers impersonated defense attorneys, police officers, or court personnel and convinced victims to provide thousands of dollars in cash to help their loved ones. Right? And again, this specific scam is ruthless. They try to clear out everything that the grandparent or parent has. Right? They'll keep on calling and making up different agencies to take more money away from the victim. They'll keep going until the victim has no money left. That's why it says they impersonate defense attorneys. So they'll call up impersonating a defense attorney saying they need money for defense. Then they'll call up impersonating police officers and say they need money for bail or whatever. Then they call up and claim to be court personnel and say they need money for court fees. Right? And they just keep making up different agencies while the victim keeps on spending money, thousands of dollars, until they can get everything they have or realize it's a scam. So these grandparent scammers are ruthless. They do target your loved ones, your grandparents and your parents. So make sure the older folks in your life with kids, or if you have kids, you'll be aware of this scam. It's extremely common. And just because this example we gave is from the Dominican Republic, recently there was also a case of a group in Canada performing this scam as well, where were recently indicted in the U.S. So scammers are all over the place. You might shut down one organization, but then another one pops up somewhere else. And it's the same scams. But knowing about them is how you battle them. Being aware of these scams so you could recognize them or identify them. That's the trick. So anyway, that's a grandparent scam. Important to be aware of that one. Make sure your loved ones are aware of that one. Next scam we're going to talk about are fake order scams. And the thing about this scam is we're being targeted from all directions when it comes to this fake order scam. And what I mean by that is we're receiving phone calls claiming a fake order was purchased. We're receiving text messages claiming a fake order was made. We're receiving emails claiming a fake order was purchased. And that's known as a fake order scam, a fake purchase scam. Victims receive a fake notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal and financial information. Right? And again, this one's extremely common. It's important to be aware of this scam. We are being targeted from all angles. And I'm going to share some examples of this scam with you. And the first example we're going to share here is a text message that impersonates Apple, claiming that a purchase was made on your Apple Pay at an Apple store for $143.95. And then it says, call this number immediately to cancel this charge. All right, now, multiple people have reported this text message to me. So it's an extremely common scam going around. It impersonates Apple, claims your Apple Pay was used, and it tries to trick you into calling this phone number to dispute the order. But there was no order. If you call that phone number, you'll be connected to a scammer. And that's how the scam works. They make you think that an order was placed, and then they say, call this number to dispute it. So it works similar to the tech support scam. It tries to trick you into calling them. So this is a text message version of that scam. But there's also phone call versions of this scam. And these are robocalls that are taking place, and they're calling hundreds of thousands of people a day, playing these pre-recorded phone calls. They're all part of a fake order scam. So I'm going to play a couple examples of these phone calls. And multiple people reported these same calls to me. I received these calls. So be aware of these types of fake order scam phone calls. That I'm about ready to play for you here. So in this first phone call example, the phone call claims to be Amazon, and it's about a MacBook Pro that was purchased under your account. This example you're about to hear, lots of people reporting this call circulating. I saw some reports last week of people reporting this exact call that's circulating. So it's part of a fake order scam. Let's take a listen.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
So that's a robocall. It's just going out. Hundreds of thousands of people are getting that call every day. It's claiming a MacBook Pro was purchased under your account. You better call you better call this number to dispute it. Right? But if you call that number, you're going to be connected to a scammer. Let's listen to another version of these fake order scam phone calls that are circulating. This next one impersonates Walmart and claims a PlayStation was purchased under your account. Let's take a listen.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
And that's always a red flag there. When it says callback number, right? It doesn't leave a number, but it expects you to call back the number on your caller ID, right? That's always a red flag. It's a scam. They can't even leave a real phone number behind. They're telling you to call back whatever number's shown. Don't trust it. But again, that's an example of a fake order scam phone call. That one claimed to be Walmart and claimed that a PlayStation 5 was purchased under your account. But if you did call back the number, you'll be connected to scammers. And that's how a scam works. They try to trick you into thinking an order was placed and making you think that you need to dispute it. But then when you think you're disputing it, you're going to be connected to a scammer. All right, so far we saw a text message version of this scam. We just listened to 2 phone call versions of this scam. All right, but what about the email version of this scam? Because like I said earlier, we're being targeted from all directions by this scam. So here's a news article from last year, August last year, about a victim. Right? And keep in mind, we talked about some of the red flags earlier. So see if you can spot the red flags in this victim's story. The red flags that we just discussed. A 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam in July. The scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase and was told she had multiple accounts open in her name. Right, so let's stop right there. That's how the fake order scam works. Right, in her case, she got the fake order notification. It was an email. It claimed she purchased an iPhone, and then the email says to call a number to dispute it. But when she called that number, she was actually connected to scammers. She thought she was disputing an iPhone purchase. She was actually connected to a bunch of scammers. And this is where the scammers go into that false narrative about what's going on. Right? So according to police, scammers connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her. First of all, they informed her someone was using her identity. Right? Then they connected her to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. Right? So that's what happened when she fell for this fake order notification. But do you notice the red flags? So this is why it's important to be aware of these scams, and this is why we do this. So you watch this live stream with us, and now you're aware of a fake order notification, right? So right off the bat, since we discussed a fake order notification, now you might recognize this as when you get this email, like, wait a minute, this could be a fake order scam, right? So right off the bat, you're a little bit more informed and protected from this scam, right? But let's say you don't recognize it right away, right? You're tricked into calling the number to dispute it. All right. Well, when she got connected to scammers, they told her to purchase gift cards. That's a red flag we discussed, right? So if you hadn't paid attention to those red flags earlier, you're on the phone with these scammers, and it gets to the point where they're telling you to purchase gift cards. That might be your last chance to get out, to stop, right? That's the red flag. You saw the gift cards mentioned. Wait a minute, something's up. Scammers like gift cards. This is suspicious. But anyway, so this was a victim's story about a fake order scam that she fell for. This just happened last year, almost a year ago this week. So be on the lookout for fake order scams, sometimes referred to as fake purchase scams. And that's when you get a fake order notification, whether it's an email claiming an order was placed, or a phone call claiming an order was placed, or a text message claiming an order was placed. Don't trust the links. Don't trust any links. Don't click any links. Don't trust any phone numbers. Don't call any phone numbers. Don't reply to the texts. If you're concerned that these order notifications are real, go directly to your account. So in the case of the Amazon one, you go directly to your Amazon account. In the case of the Apple one, you go directly to your Apple account. Right? And you go into your account and check directly if there's anything suspicious going on. Or call support directly. All right, but don't click any links that come with these fake notifications. Don't trust any phone numbers that come with these fake notifications. Because we know that's part of the scam. They want to trick you into calling a scammer. So be alert. Fake order scams. Be aware. We're getting targeted all directions. Let me know in the chat if you received any fake order notifications like that. Say hi in the chat and just let me know you're watching too. We're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook. We just started doing that a couple weeks ago. So we'll see how it goes. But if you're watching on Instagram, on Facebook, hit that like button, reshare, subscribe. Let's see if we get some viewers on those live streams we got going over there. We're also on YouTube as well. So I'm monitoring the YouTube stream chats. So if you want to say hi or ask a question, hop on over to YouTube stream and type in there. And I'll do my best to reply and answer. Next scam we're going to talk about, undeliverable package scams. We're starting to see this one pick up, so it's important to be aware of this one now, especially as the holidays start approaching in a few months. Definitely important to be aware of this one. Undeliverable package scams. Victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages and are asked to click a link to resolve. The link opens a fake website impersonating UPS, FedEx, or USPS. Any personal or financial details provided by the victim are stolen by the scammers. There never was a package. So we saw this one a lot toward the end of the year last year as the holidays approached, because everybody's sending and receiving packages, so they're more likely to fall for this type of scam. But one thing's important to note and recognize is that FedEx, UPS, USPS, they do not send text messages like these. Unless you request an update for a specific package, they're not going to send you any text messages claiming a package can't be delivered or is delayed. Right. So right off the bat, be aware. You get a text message claiming your package is delayed and you need to update information. It's a scam. I'm going to show you some examples of what these scams might look like. Here's a text message. The USPS package has arrived at the warehouse and cannot be delivered due to incomplete address information. Please confirm your address in the link within 12 hours. And that has the link to a fake website that's going to steal any information you provide. Also, notice that instruction we mentioned earlier, that red flag, the please reply yes, then exit and reopen. That's always a red flag when you see that included on a text message. Another example. This one came in as a group text message, and the group text message was named USPS. That says, since the package does not have a house number, the package transportation is interrupted. And it has a link, please update. But it's a scam. It's going to steal whatever information you enter. There's another version of the scam. This one has an HTML attachment and the USPS logo in it. So you get a text message like this, and it says, your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on the HTML file above to update your address. Like we mentioned earlier, never open unsolicited attachments that you weren't expecting, right? Whether it's an HTML file, PDF file, especially an HTML file. Those are dangerous. Here's an example. Same text message, except this one has a PDF attached. And someone could confuse this as legit. It has the USPS logo that looks very convincing, but don't trust it. Don't open it. It's a scam. Now, let's pretend that you did open that by accident. You click the link. It might take you to a website that looks like this. It's a pretty legit looking website, right? They have the colors down, the logos there, a fake tracking number. This could fool someone, but any information they enter, any shipping information, payment information is going to get stolen. There's no package. This is all fake. And that's how the scam works. So never trust any notifications claiming a package is undeliverable and you need to update information. A fun little story I'd like to share about this undeliverable package scam was from an article published in Wired last year. USPS text scammers duped his wife, so he hacked their operation. So last year, when all these undeliverable package scams were going around, this guy's wife fell for it, right? And he got revenge. He was able to hack into their systems and find out all this fascinating information about the operation going on behind the scenes. And one of the first things that he was able to find was that they were sending, these scammers were sending over 100,000 scam text messages per day, right? Just to give you an idea of what they're capable of. 100,000 scam text messages per day, right? And in this case, it was a Chinese-based scam group, Chinese language-based group. And people had entered almost 438,669 unique credit cards. So almost 500,000 credit cards were entered by victims. Right? So that gives you an idea why these scammers do what they do. I mean, it's successful. They got 500,000 credit cards from victims. Many people entered multiple cards, and it said that more than 50,000 email addresses were logged, including university and government email addresses. So everybody's falling for this scam. This was a year ago. And it's a numbers game. These scammers, again, they were sending out 100,000 scam text messages per day. So it's just a numbers game. They know eventually some people are going to fall for them. And they do. That's how they got almost 500,000 credit cards. So be aware of this undeliverable package scam. Reports about this scam have started to pick up again. They've started to pick up, and we're going to start seeing them a lot more as the end of the year starts approaching towards the holidays. November, December. So it's coming. Be aware, and don't fall for it. Make sure your loved ones are aware of this one. Again, UPS, FedEx, USPS, they're never going to send you text messages claiming you got to click to verify information. Let me know you're watching in the chat. Click that like button if you haven't yet. See if we get some more people in this live stream. We got at least another hour and a half to go. We got lots of good stuff to go over still. So hit like, hit share. Let's see if we get some more people in here. Do this live stream every week. We go over about 15 different types of common scams. All active, all circulating, all important to be aware of. We share examples, text messages, emails, play some recordings. And we went over some red flags earlier. If you missed some of our earlier scams that we talked about, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the videos. A lot of the scams we already did videos for. So you can go and check out the videos later and share them. And if you see any examples that you would like to share with somebody, a lot of times we have videos about those scams too. So I'm getting at, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the videos, and share them with, help spread them, share them with a loved one. And, you know, on the topic still, these undeliverable package scams, I showed you the text message version, but there's also an email version of this scam too. And this one popped up real quick last year. As far as I know, we were the only ones to report this scam and capture it. We did a video about it. It's on our YouTube channel. But let me show you the examples, because I'm sure we're going to see this one popping up very soon again for the holidays. So as far as the undeliverable package scam goes, here's the email version that was circulating last year. And you can see this email came in November 16th, 2024 as impersonating FedEx. You can see this one came in November 22nd, 2024 as impersonating UPS. So both these examples are less than a year old. And in this case, they're claiming that a package appears to be missing or delayed. And they're claiming to offer you a compensation product of up to $100 in value. And this says, get your compensation product now. But this is a scam. FedEx, UPS, they don't offer compensation products for delayed packages or missing packages. It'd be nice if they did, but they don't. Especially ones that are worth hundreds of dollars. So this is a scam email. It's just a different twist on the undeliverable package text message scam. Which is also something to be aware of. You know, a lot of these text message scams that we show you, they could easily be modified and have been. So their email versions are out there of them. You know, the same scam, but it's just been adapted to email. And vice versa. A lot of email scams have already been adapted to a text message too. So just because the scam comes in one way instead of another, it comes as a text instead of an email, you can't trust it any more than the other way. So anyway, be aware of these undeliverable package scams. We see text messages of this scam. We see emails of this scam. And it's going to be picking up as the holidays approach. So super important to be aware of that one. Next scam we're going to talk about are fake retail website scams. This is when scammers create fake websites to sell products that are never delivered. Victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. Look, and victims don't just lose the money once they pay. They actually have their payment information stolen and then used. And it'll be a lot worse than whatever they supposedly paid for. Right? Any banking information provided is going to get stolen and used. Any credit card details provided is going to get stolen and used. Right? So this goes beyond just not getting the product you ordered. They're actually going to commit fraud and try to steal as much as they can from you. All right, so you need to watch out for these fake retail websites. And I'll explain some ways that you could end up on these fake websites. But first, let me show you some examples of them. Now, the scam we went over earlier, the undeliverable package scam and the email, right, where it said, click here for your compensation product. The examples I'm going to share of these fake retail websites are actually where that scam linked to. So that earlier scam, it evolves into fake retail website scam. And these are some of the products that it tries to trick you into entering your information to get. So wireless headphones, they're claiming valued at $175, but they say just pay for shipping, $8.95. But it's a scam. If you enter your shipping information, your payment details, you're never going to get the product, and your information is going to be stolen. A lot of times, these fake offers and scams, they'll say, just pay for shipping, but they're offering a product that's worth hundreds of dollars. And if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Really is the moral. Here's another example, all part of that same scam. This one says it's a portable heater valued at $175, but you could have it for just shipping, $869. But again, it's a scam. The information provided to get stolen. The other example here of a fake retail website. This one's offering you earbuds, wireless earbuds. Just pay shipping, $869. But it's a scam. You're never going to get those earbuds, and instead your shipping and payment details are going to be stolen. And we'll show you another scam later that uses earbuds, because it's a popular item, and scammers will do that. They'll use popular items that year or that holiday season, and they'll use that to trick people like, hey, look at this unbeatable deal, $8, and get these $200 pair of earbuds. But it's a scam. It's too good to be true. Probably is. So let's talk about some ways you might land on these fake retail websites. Well, first way is an email, right? All sorts of fake email tricks to get you onto these websites, whether it's a email that impersonates a vendor, offering you a gift, to some random retailer email claiming that you're a valued customer. Fake holiday promotional, impersonating Apple or some other retailer, Amazon. All right, so you get these emails with these too good to be true offers, but if you click the links, you'll end up on these fake retail websites. So don't click on links on emails that you weren't expecting, unsolicited emails. You could end up on these fake retail websites. Another way is ads. Look, scammers can purchase ads just like anybody else. They could purchase ads on social media, right? So you could be on Facebook or just scrolling through your timeline and posts, and boom, you get an ad for these earbuds. Just pay shipping. But it's a scam. It takes you to one of these fake retail websites. These are all over Facebook. The scammers, they purchase ads just like anybody else. And the social media platforms, they can't keep up with them. So you get directed here by clicking on an ad, on social media. Another way are sponsored listings, Google results, search engine results. Scammers purchase those too. They'll purchase those results to appear at the top of the listings, and it takes you to a fake retail website. So ads, search engine results, emails, they're all tricky ways you can get directed to these fake retail websites that were created by scammers for the sole purpose of stealing your financial details and money. We see this one pick up a lot during the holidays, right? And they use items that people are looking to shop for. So again, watch out for this one as the holidays start approaching towards the end of the year. Fake retail websites. Say that in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I'm not really paying attention to how many viewers are here, so the only way I know is if I see interaction in the chat. So say hi in the YouTube stream. That's the one I'm monitoring. Hey, if you're watching on Instagram and Facebook, give us a like. Say hi anyway. Leave a comment in there. I'll go see them every now and then when I check and respond when I notice them. Hit that like and share. Help us get the word out here about these scams. We still got another hour, at least, of this live stream. So there's still time to share. Share it on social media. Hit that like button. Let your friends know about it. There's still plenty of good stuff coming up for next hour, at least. Lots more scams we're going to continue going over here. Don't forget to join that mailing list on our website, scamware101.com. Join the free mailing list. The join mailing list. And of course, follow us on your favorite social media. Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. The more subscribers, more likes we get, the more our content gets out there. So you can help us spread awareness by simply liking and sharing our videos, this live stream, our content. And of course, if you want to help out our mission financially, go to scamaware101.com/donate. You scan that QR code that's on your screen. We'll gladly accept donations. And on YouTube, we have super thanks enabled too. So you could send us some money on YouTube if you want, using one of those thanks button, the super thanks button. Or you can also check out our YouTube store and purchase some merchandise. We have some Scamaware 101 coffee mugs on there, mouse pads, stickers. Help support the cause. It's on our YouTube store. But let's keep on talking about scams here. The next scam we're going to talk about is gift card received scams. And the one we're going to talk about is the email version. Right? So victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. And for example, we mentioned receiving emails earlier that link to fake products. In this case, they're linking to fake gift cards. And this example impersonates a Venmo email. You get an email, has the Venmo logo. It says, your $50 gift card is here. And then it says, your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. But if you click that link to activate the card, you're either going to get infected with malware on your device or your information is going to be stolen. So in the case like this, if you get an email claiming somebody sent you a gift card, right, don't click the link. Instead, confirm with the person that supposedly sent it they actually sent it. So in this case, since it says your company has sent you an employee rewards card, what you do is reach out to your employer and confirm they actually sent you this. You don't want to just click the activate link. If the email had said it came from a family member, you would reach out to that family member first. You're going to want to thank them anyway, right? So reach out to them first, confirm it's real, and thank them. But definitely confirm it's real before you click any links or trust an email that claims you're getting a gift card. Even ones that impersonate vendors that just say, valued customer, here's a gift card. Be suspicious. Watch out for scams. Always verify first and don't just trust any links that arrive at your inbox or text message. So that's the email version of a gift card scam. We have an actual snail mail version we're going to share with you a little later in this live stream too. So that also goes to show, these email scams, a lot of times there's snail mail versions of these scams that have been around even longer. Snail mail as in postal service, right? Traditional postal mail. You'll still get letters claiming that you could get a free gift card. You still get a postcard in the mail saying, click here for a gift card. But it's a scam. So be aware and watch out. How you all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. Just updating the agenda times here. Pretty on track still. A little more than halfway through the live stream here. We're just wrapping up our second hour. We started at 5:45 p.m. Eastern time, so we started exactly 2 hours ago. And we've got about another hour at least to go. And depending on how many viewers we have, how many people are interacting, if there's interest, I'll keep going. And I'll start from the top. If I get a rush of people from the West Coast joining late for me, I'll start from the top and go over everything they missed if it comes down to it. But until then, we're definitely going for at least an hour anyway. So we have some more scam examples to share with you here. Common scams to be aware of. We have some Social Security impersonation scams, IRS impersonation scams. Some more examples to show you. Tax forgiveness scams, some phone calls to play, emails to share. All good stuff still coming up. So hit that like button if you haven't yet. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, or hey, hit that like button on all three if you use all three. The more likes we get, the better. More subscribers, followers, we appreciate it all. Remember, our goal here is to spread awareness, so you could help by liking our content and sharing it. So this next scam we're going to talk about, Social Security impersonation scams. And that's when scammers impersonate Social Security officials and claim there are problems with the victim's number or benefits. That's one thing they do. They'll reach out, they'll claim there's a problem with your account, problem with the payment, and they'll threaten action unless you make a payment or provide information. Right? So a lot of times we'll see that over the phone. You get a phone call, they impersonate Social Security, and they tell you there's a problem with your account. Another version of this scam are emails and text messages that appear to be from Social Security, but they link to dangerous websites. And sometimes those emails or text messages might say it's a statement from Social Security. And that's the example we're going to share with you this evening. But just to give you an idea how common and serious these Social Security scams are, is this is actually what a letter from Social Security, this is what their envelope looks like. Right? It actually has a huge warning on it. Right? This arrives in your mailbox. It's got a huge warning on it. Scam alert. Scammers are pretending to be government employees. They may threaten you and may demand immediate payment to avoid arrest or other legal action. Don't be fooled. If you receive a suspicious call, hang up. Do not give them money or personal information. Right? And again, this is on the back of a real envelope from Social Security. So they've been warning about these impersonation scams for a while. People impersonating, scammers impersonating, Social Security. And they're actually warning about it on their envelopes that they're sending out to people. So it's happening. Be aware of it. Don't trust any unsolicited communication claiming to be from Social Security. They advise, Social Security's own instructions say hang up and then verify. So they're okay with, if it's really Social Security, which it won't be, they're okay with you saying, hey, I'm going to hang up and call back. But let's take a look at an email that might come from Social Security an email that's impersonating Social Security, a fake email. We'll start with the version, how it looks on your phone, which makes it a little bit more trickier to identify when these emails come on the phone. Because right off the bat, you don't see the real email address. It's kind of masked here. Unless you click on it, you're not going to see the real email address. All right. And then it has the link here that looks like it points to ssa.gov. And what this email says is, get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from this link. And it looks like it links to ssa.gov. We hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration services. And it says this file only works on computers only. But this is a fake email. This is a scam that's impersonating Social Security. If you take a look at the email on a computer, you can see some more details, that red flags that give it away. First of all, you can see the email address now. And you can tell it's not from ssa.gov. It's actually an email address outside of the United States. I think it's kenya.co.ke. And then the second thing you can notice is when you hover over the link with your mouse, now you can see it doesn't point to ssa.gov. It actually points somewhere completely different. So they're trying to trick you. They make the link look like it's to ssa.gov, but actually points to a completely different location. And this is an example of an email that impersonates Social Security and tries to trick you. And there's a few different versions out there. A new version was sent to me this week. I haven't had a chance to get it in this presentation yet, but it's another email that they impersonate Social Security and they claim there's a statement or update and to click a link. But you can't trust it. You have to be suspicious. Be aware that these scammers are impersonating Social Security, whether it's an email or a phone call. You can't just trust it. You have to hang up or verify by going to your account directly. Don't trust links. Don't trust phone numbers. Even if the caller ID shows Social Security's phone number. Remember, we mentioned it earlier on this live stream. Scammers can manipulate what the caller ID shows. Always remember that. So that's an example of Social Security impersonation scam. Let me know in the chats if you've received these or know someone who has. I know 2 different people so far, friends that got this in the past few weeks, whom I know personally. And be warned about scams like that and receive reminders about when we're going live. You can join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. Check it out. Next scam we're going to talk about picks up during and after tax season usually are IRS impersonation scams. Basically when fraudsters impersonate tax authorities, claiming the victim owes taxes and must pay immediately to avoid penalties or arrest. They often demand payment by untraceable methods. And look, anybody that calls you up directly claiming to be with a government organization is a red flag. And if it really is the government, which it in most cases won't be, if it really is, they should have no problem with you hanging up and confirming a few things. All right, so we know that during tax season, and even right now, since it's a few months after tax season, these scams are still circulating right now. And these scammers, they'll call you, they'll impersonate the IRS, they'll claim to be with the IRS, and they'll claim that you have to make payment immediately because you owe taxes. Or they'll claim that there's a problem with a payment and they need to get your billing information. They'll try to get some information from you to eventually steal money. So don't trust unsolicited phone calls claiming to be the IRS. But you also have to be wary of any text messages claiming to be from the IRS. And the example we're going to show you here, we were actually warned about this scam a couple months ago by the IRS. As part of this tax season, they warned us about this text message scam that was circulating. And in this case, it impersonates the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, and it says, you are eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. And that has the link to a fake website that they make look like it links to irs.gov, but you can tell it links to another website. And it also has that instruction that we warned you about, the red flag earlier, where it says, please reply yes and reopen. All right, so that's always a red flag to watch out for. But again, this text message scam, we were warned specifically about this from the IRS this year. This is the example they provided us. So if you get a text message like this, don't trust it. Be aware, rest assured, it's a scam. And there is no $1,400 economic impact payment. And even if there was, the IRS wouldn't send a text message like this to notify you. So any text messages like this, don't trust it. It's a scam. And what's interesting, one other note about this IRS impersonation scam, what's interesting about this one is 2 years ago, the IRS warned us about an email version of this scam. An email going out saying you were eligible for an economic impact payment. So that's just another example of how this text message version of a scam, there's an email version, works the same way. All right, there's an email version, works like a text message version. So watch out when you get these types of notifications, whether it's an email or a text message, it's a scam. So that's IRS impersonation scams. How are we doing out there? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Let me go check on the streams here. See how Facebook and Instagram are doing. Doing good. Awesome. We're still on Instagram. Stream is going strong. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that heart. Reshare. I don't know how all that Instagram stuff works, but help us spread the word that we're there. Facebook too. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. Share the live stream. We're going to be going for at least about another hour, close to another hour. Lots of good stuff still coming up. So help us spread awareness. Say hi in the chat. Give us that thumbs up. Give us a like. We're monitoring the chat rooms over on the YouTube streams. So if you want to say hi, share a story, ask a question, so I'll respond to you. Let me know in the YouTube stream chats. So another scam we're going to talk about related to IRS and tax season scams are tax forgiveness scams. I'm going to play a voicemail. It's a robocall. It's a scam that's just it's circulating. It's calling everybody. It's saying the same thing. And this robocall is very misleading. First of all, it tells everybody right off the bat that you owe back taxes. So it tries to scare the person on the other end from the start, saying you owe back taxes. They don't know if you do or not. This phone call is just saying the same thing to everybody, right? And then it tells the person that they have to call within a certain amount of time. So it's trying to scare them to react quickly, right? And then also it tries to sound personalized. Like when we listen to the call, they're like, we'll keep your file on our desk. But this is a recording. This isn't a person that's actually sitting there with your file. So it's just a very misleading call with many red flags. And this type of scam pops up during tax season, right? It's all these tax forgiveness scammers, right? So let's take a listen at one of these phone calls that is currently circulating to be aware of. And many people report this phone call to me and provided different versions too. So be aware of it and watch out. Let's take a listen to this fake tax forgiveness scam.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick. And I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you. 2.
That's an example of a tax forgiveness scam phone call that's circulating. Look, if you think that there might be some kind of tax forgiveness or you get one of these phone calls where it piques your interest, reach out to your actual accountant. Reach out to a person who does your taxes. Reach out to somebody or ask somebody to refer an accountant you could use. Don't just trust some random unsolicited phone call, especially one that's using threatening language like that, because you don't realize it, but right off the bat they're telling you owe taxes. So they're trying to create confusion. They're telling you got to call back within a week, right? They're using fear, and they're acting like it's a real person at the other end. And it's not. This is recording and saying the same thing to everybody. They don't really have your file there sitting on a desk waiting for. It's very misleading. All right, so be aware of these tax forgiveness scams. Lots of different versions circulating right now. They always pick up during tax season. They want to cause confusion. Somebody I know received one of these phone calls right after they filed their taxes, and one of the first things they said is they thought, oh, I must have done something wrong. I must owe taxes. I must have done something wrong. And they thought it was related to them recently filing. And that's how a scam works. It's more successful during tax season, because people think, oh, I must have made a mistake, or oh, I must owe back taxes that I didn't realize, right? But it's a scam. So watch out for these tax forgiveness scams. We always see them pick up during tax season, and they're still circulating now. Maybe a couple months after tax season. So let me know in the chat if you receive these phone calls or anything like that. Any of these scams are going over. The next scam we're going to talk about is, I've just been referring to it as a discount scam. And the goal of the scam is to get you to purchase gift cards thinking that you're going to pay for a discount. And let me break this down and explain it a little bit. First of all, let me play this recording of how the scam starts. In this recording we're about to hear, it impersonates Comcast. And this is actually a recording that I received. And you'll hear that the phone call says that your 50% discount expires today. And you got to call them back to discuss options. But they make the person who receives this call think, oh my God, my Comcast bill is going to double today. Well, it's 50% is expiring. It's going to double. I better call back this number, right? So that's how they trick you into calling this number. They make you think that your bill is going to double. Okay. I'm not a Comcast customer, so I knew right away this is a scam. But if I was a Comcast customer, or if you are, be aware of this. And even if you're not a Comcast customer, be aware that all other providers, the same scam applies. They're calling up people with Verizon and impersonate Verizon with the same scam, for example. So let's take a listen to how this fake discount phone call starts by impersonating Comcast. And let me know in the chat if you received a call like this.
Hello, this voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
So here's how that scam works. If you call back that number, you're not actually calling back Comcast. You're calling a scammer. And what that scammer is going to do is they're going to tell you your promotional deal is expired, right? But they have a new promotional deal going on with Target, for example. And what you could do is if you go purchase $500 Target gift card and provide that to us to pay your bill, you could keep the same rate, right? They tell you that they have a deal going on with Apple gift cards or a deal going on with Target gift cards, right? But it's a scam. You're not actually talking to Comcast. You're not actually talking to your provider. This is a scammer trying to trick you into purchasing a gift card and sending it to them, right? The victim thinks that they're paying for their future Comcast bill. They're paying for the next year of Comcast, right? But they're not. They're actually being tricked into purchasing a gift card and sending it to a scammer. And this is where we go back to those red flags we talked about. Any mention of a gift card, purchasing a gift card is a red flag because scammers love to receive gift cards as payment. Apple gift cards, Target gift cards, any type of gift cards. It needs to trigger a red flag in your head. So watch out for this type of scam. If you get a phone call claiming your 50%, discounts going to expire, right? If you're concerned that it's real, at the very minimum, don't call back the number. Don't call back the number they say. Instead, reach out directly to Comcast. Go check your Comcast bill and reach out to them directly, the number to call. But don't trust the number, left in this voicemail. And don't trust in just an unsolicited phone call calling you saying that your discount's going to expire. There's a scam. It's circulating right now. You'll be aware of it. What do you think of that? Let me know in the chat if you received any calls like that. We're seeing more reports of that one picking up. We're seeing it reported on the AARP scam tracker map. So definitely be aware of those phone calls claiming to be your internet provider, internet and TV provider. All right. It's time to take our second coffee break. Quick 5-minute, refill our coffee mug here, get caffeinated for the rest of the live stream, and we'll finish up the rest of the live stream uninterrupted. So still got lots more good stuff coming up. You get your own Scamaware 101 coffee mug, travel mug, a couple other things over on our merch store. You can find it over on our YouTube channel. We have our YouTube store. We also have a link on our website to the merch store. So you get a Scamaware 101 mug that you can keep on your desk as a reminder not to fall for scams. You get mouse pads, stickers, things like that, all to keep in front of you to remind you not to fall for these scams or remind a loved one not to fall for these scams. Coffee mugs make great gifts, and so do the mouse pads. So check it out on our YouTube store and help support our cause by buying a mug and sticker or anything else in the merch store. A little bit helps. Speaking about coffee mugs, let's take that quick 5-minute break, the last one of the live stream here. Refill this coffee mug, get caffeinated one last time so we could finish out the rest of this live stream uninterrupted. Lots of good stuff still coming up. So stay tuned. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Still time to share and like. Don't forget to join our free mailing list. Click join mailing list on scamaware101.com. We'll be back in 5 minutes to continue the remainder of this live stream. Stay tuned. All right. Got that coffee mug filled, recaffeinated, ready to go. Staying alert for everybody here. If you have anybody joining from the West Coast, say hi in the chat. Let me know. Just a little after 8 o'clock over here on the East Coast. So if we get a little bump from the West Coast, say hi. We usually do this live stream on Thursdays, but bumped up a little early this week. I'll be gone at the usual time. But next week, we're returning to our usual Thursday weekly schedule. So make sure to tune in to our weekly live stream where we discuss common scams so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones. And we go over 20 different types of scams on this live stream. We go over red flags to help you identify the scams. We also show you examples, emails, phone calls, texts, all stuff to be aware of to spot these scams when you're a target. All right, we're going to go into the last portion of this live stream here, but if you're just joining, I'm Jared with Scamaware 101. You join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, some reminders about when we're going live. So it's on scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. You can also follow us on all your favorite social media, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're live streaming right now on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, hit share. Let's see if we get some more people here on the live stream. Lots more useful information coming up, still remaining, so it's not too late to start joining and watching here. Also, you can ask a question or share an experience. Comment over in our YouTube live stream because I'm monitoring that chat and I'll answer any questions that you might ask over there on the YouTube stream. So go follow us on YouTube, subscribe, and hop on over to that live stream, and maybe I'll give you a shout out here live on here on the live stream. With that said, let's continue with the rest of this live stream uninterrupted. And for this portion of the live stream, what we do is we take a few minutes. We want to go over the tools and software that we have available, all for links to third party, the resources here, on our website. Because not only are we trying to spread awareness about these scams by showing you examples on this live stream, but we're also trying to turn our website into a one-stop portal for scam awareness information. Right? And one of the areas we're building out on our website, on scamware101.com, is the tools and software section. And we have a bunch of useful links over here that I just want to take a minute and share with you. So over on scamware101.com, you click Tools and Software. And you'll notice the first 4 links that we have on this page are called Data Breach Lookup Tools. All right, and what these tools will do is you'll enter your email address or your phone number, and it'll tell you what data breaches and what information of yours has been leaked attached to that email address and that phone number. Right? Because scammers have access to all of this information, including your account logins, your email addresses, your phone numbers, your bank account information, your social security number. They can have so much information about you that you're unaware of. And what they do is they reach out to you. They impersonate these different organizations and places, like your bank, for example, and they'll try to trick you using your personal information. They'll try to trick you into thinking they're legit. Right? So it's important to know what information about you is out there. And that's what these data breach lookup tools will do. I suggest checking out each one. They're all free. Right? A couple of them will try to pitch you identity monitoring, after the fact, but you don't need it. You still get the reports. The reports are all free. So you enter your email address, enter your phone number, and see what data comes back about you. And hey, listen, if anything, do it to see what account logins come back, because your logins are out there. You're going to be surprised to find out how many of your passwords have actually been exposed. If you're using those passwords or those logins across multiple accounts, right? Like you're using the same login for your target account that you are for your bank account, for example, right? These scammers might know your login. So anyway, check out these data breach lookup tools. It's important to know what the scammers know about you. And you can trust these 4 links that we have here. The next section, we have a couple links to some paid software because we got approved as an affiliate, right? So we have a few links here to Nord Password Premium and also NordVPN. And we basically found the best deal available as an affiliate and just put the link up here. We tried to find the best deal available. We'll give you the pass on as the most savings that we can. So if you're considering getting Nord Password to manage your passwords with, or NordVPN to use a VPN service, use our link and save a few bucks. And we also get a little bit of commission. Win-win, right? I think NordPass, if you use this link, you get it for over 2 years for like $35. So it's a good link. You save a bunch of money that way. And same for NordVPN. I think it was like 2 years for like $100. So that's pretty good for a VPN. Anyway, links there. Use it if you want to save a couple bucks. And then we also have a link to Malwarebytes Premium. You save 25% off of Malwarebytes Premium. It's pretty good antivirus software that you could use to protect your computer if you don't have any. So, Malwarebytes Premium, check it out. Use our links, save 25%. But we also have some links to some free software over here on our tools and software page. We have a link to Malwarebytes Browser Guard. I've been using this for a while. It's a pretty cool browser extension. You just plug it into Chrome or Firefox, whatever your browser is, Safari. And it blocks a bunch of annoying ads and some scams. You know, it's not 100%, but it does block a lot of ads and speed things up. So put the link here for you to use if you want. Malwarebytes free. Hey, if your computer's running slow, you think you got something bad on there, pop-ups, go download Malwarebytes free and run a scan. I mentioned Premium earlier, which you have to pay for. That's real-time protection, but you go download the free version for free, and the only difference is you just have to run a direct scan, or run a manual scan using the free version. So download that. If your computer's running slow, you think you have something bad on it, download it, Malwarebytes free, and run a scan on your computer. I have a link to Bitdefender Antivirus. It's just a free antivirus option if you don't already have one. Right, that's the key word there. If you're just relying on your default antivirus, you're not paying for antivirus. There's nothing else installed. You're just relying on the Windows Defender antivirus. Then go install Bitdefender too. It's a free antivirus. It has a little bit more protection. It's better than having no antivirus. But if you already have a paid antivirus on there or a free antivirus, keep using what you're using. I don't know if it's any better than it, but if you don't, here's a free option that's pretty decent and you could use for more antivirus protection. Reverse image lookup tools. And again, we're just going over some of the tools and software available here on the scamware101.com website. We have a whole bunch of online tools and software linking to third parties that could be useful. And this next section here is reverse image lookup tools. And this comes in handy for romance scams. And how this works is, let's say you're on a dating website, you get matched with somebody, they send you pictures. You could do a reverse image lookup on their pictures. What this does is it searches the internet for those pictures and lets you know if it found them somewhere else. Why would you care if it finds that person's pictures somewhere else? Well, it means that they could have stolen them. They're not really who they say they are. They stole the pictures, and they're claiming to be that person, right? So you could use these reverse image lookup tools to check on those images, see if they show up anywhere else. The three links we have here are the TinEye reverse image search, which is pretty well known and good. Then we have the Bing visual search and Google image search. Those are the two image search tools from Bing and Google. So 3 links there, reverse image lookups. If you're meeting people online, dating, use these tools to check their images. And I have a few links to some website safety lookup tools. I have a link to Norton Safe Web. You could check if a website has any reviews or ratings. Google Safe Browsing, it'll tell you if a website was detected as unsafe or dangerous. Virus Total, it'll tell you if there's any suspicious files or malware detected for the site. So just a couple extra tools you could do if you're looking into a website, some resources you could use. In the last section here, we have some scam report lookup tools. And these are fun. We have a link to the BBB Scam Tracker tool and the AARP Scam Tracking Map. And what's cool about these scam tracking tools are you can see the reports that are coming in about scams. You get an idea of what scams are currently circulating, how many are being reported and encountered, and you get kind of an idea of which ones are most popular and to watch out for. All right, so they're pretty cool. In fact, when we get to it, for the last 15 minutes of this live stream, we're not there yet, but usually for the last 15 minutes or so of this live stream, I'll open up the AARP Scam Tracking Map, and we'll check out some recent scams that are being reported. We'll see if they match the scams we already talked about, or if there's some new other ones we need to discuss too. We usually find some good ones each week to talk about that aren't part of our regular presentation. So it's a fun way to wrap up the live stream that we'll be doing shortly, but we're not there yet. So stay tuned, and we're going to get there. So anyway, those are some common tools. Those are some online tools and software, and all from third parties that we link to on our website here at scamware101.com. It's under the online tools and software section of their website. And then, of course, while you're on our website, scamware101.com, hit join mailing list. Join our free mailing list. We'll send you updates and keep you posted when we upload new videos or post new content. Remind you when we're going live. It's free to join. So hit join mailing list on scamware101.com. If you're just joining, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. I see Dave. Good to see you, Dave. Always a pleasure. We're doing the live stream early this week on Tuesday because I'm not going to be around on Thursday. But next week we return to our regular Thursday weekly schedule. But good to see you. Pleasure as always. Anybody else just joining? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're here. We're streaming on Facebook and Instagram. Let me take a look at those, see how those are going. We're still good on Instagram. Nice. And we're still good on Facebook too. So excellent. Say hi in the comments, in the chat, and hit a thumbs up. Give us a like. And help spread awareness about the live stream and Scamware 101 in general. On Instagram, Facebook, of course, YouTube. All right, so we've got maybe about half an hour or so left here. And for the last two portions of our live stream that we're coming up on is I'll show you some snail mail scams to be aware of, because scammers still use the postal service to send out letters or postcards to scam people. We'll discuss some QR code scams too. And then, as mentioned a little earlier, we'll wrap up by checking out the ARP scam tracker map. And we'll see what scams are being reported over there. So still some good stuff coming up, so stay tuned. Let me know you're watching. And let me know if you've encountered any of these scams here in the chat. Ask your questions. I'll do my best to answer you. If you're on the YouTube chat, I'll reply over there. And by the way, if you're just joining, and your first time seeing one of our live streams here, I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week. Our mission is to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals. Scams that you should be aware of so you can protect yourself, protect your loved ones. We cover about 20 different types of scams on this live stream, but we also create YouTube videos about a lot of these scams. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check it out if you haven't yet. And a lot of scams that we're discussing this evening on our live stream, we have videos about them too with the same examples. So definitely take a look later and share the content with your loved ones. But awareness is key. You know, finding out about a scam after you send money, it's too late. Victims rarely receive their money or recover the funds. Like, they really don't. People mistakenly think that their money is safe with the bank and that it's insured. But in the case of these scammers, when they trick you into withdrawing the money, when you're scammed, the bank doesn't cover that. That's not insured. You don't get that money back from the bank. So once it's withdrawn and sent to the scammer, especially if it's sent as gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's very hard to get those funds back. So awareness is key. You want to be able to recognize these scams before ever sending any money. Because if you sent money, by then it's too late. Right? And that's the point of scam awareness. And that's why we do this live stream. That's why we release these videos. That's why we do this live stream every week. We have a few more services that we're going to be providing soon because we've got to fund the operation somehow. So we have some exciting announcements coming up next week about some services we're going to start offering. So definitely stay tuned and tune in next Thursday for some exciting announcements. But as far as this live stream here, we still have some good examples coming up. And you can join our free mailing list. Scamware101.com. Hit join mailing list. Follow us on your favorite social media. And if you want to help out financially, hey, we'll take it. You can donate. Scamware101.com/donate. You scan that QR code on the screen. You know, we get the most out of donating directly like that through our website. But you could also, we'll take the super thanks on YouTube as well. YouTube takes a big cut out of it, but we'll take it. We'll take it if you want to use the YouTube super thanks too. So, also, feel free to buy some of our merch. Well, feel free. It costs a little bit of money, but our merch store, we got Scamware 101 coffee mug, traveler mugs, mouse pads. They can help out by purchasing some of the merch. Help support our mission here. Don't feel obligated. We appreciate just getting the extra likes and the shares and the subscribers. So hit that like button, and that's good enough for me too. Now, with that said, let's get back to spreading more awareness about some scams. And we're going to talk about snail mail scams for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Snail mail scams and QR code scams. All right, we're going to start off with a free gift card scam. And this is the postcard version, right? Notice how earlier we talked about the email scam, that you received the gift card email scam. Well, here's a postcard version of that same scam. Right, you get a postcard in the mail, says you get a free gift. Sometimes it has a QR code on it. Victims receive a physical postcard in the mail offering a free gift. When the victim receives it to activate the gift card by scanning a QR code, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. Now, we're going to dive into this a little bit more. I'm going to show you an example. That's kind of why I read through it real quick. I have an example here that's got to kind of make it even more clear to you. But first, I see Dave Cruz mentioned in the chat, I didn't know YouTube took a cut. Yeah, man, they do. I don't complain. I'll take whatever I could get. But YouTube actually takes 30% of the super thanks, right? So they take 30 cents to the dollar. They take a big cut. So it's better, I'd rather get it than not get it. But when you use the donate link or the QR code that I have here, when you donate through Stripe, they take a much less commission. But again, YouTube makes it easy. The button's right there. So, again, I'd rather get it than nothing at all. But you also donate directly and less of a cut is taken out. Yeah, 30%. It's a lot, right? So. But if you're watching YouTube, I appreciate you. Don't cancel my YouTube account. I still love you, YouTube. But anyway, let's get back to talking about these snail mail scams and QR code scams. So here's a example of a postcard, physical postcard you received, and it's offering you a free gift, wireless Bluetooth earbuds, right? And remember, we had the same example for the fake retail websites, right? They use popular items across their scams, and these wireless earbuds, they're a popular item. So we see lots of different scams using this product to try and get interest, pique interest. But in this case, you receive this postcard, right? Snail mail scam. Postcard comes, free wireless Bluetooth earbuds with a QR code to scan, right? But if you scan that QR code, you'll be taken to a fake website that captures personal information, your name, address, Amazon account, and even your credit card number, it says. So watch out for postcard scams like this. And because QR codes, everybody knows how to use QR codes now. Thanks to COVID, everybody learned hands-free how to scan QR codes on menus and things like that. So it kind of brought new life now to these snail mail scams. It gave a well-known method for scammers to put QR codes on their traditional scams and make it a very easy way for victims to scan a barcode and boom, they're taken to the fake website now. So what I'm saying is QR codes breathed new life into snail mail scams and physical scams that are out there. You'll find these QR codes, they'll be on flyers out there in the public, right? We've seen cases where parking meters that have QR codes to scan to pay, scammers replace those QR codes. They put a sticker of their own on top of it. So people are taking the fake website and actually paying a scammer, right? Thanks to QR code. We've seen cases of parking tickets, paper parking tickets being left on windshields, right? But the paper parking ticket has a QR code, and you scan it. It takes you to the scammer's website. And you think you're paying for a parking ticket, but it's a scam. So QR code scams have brought new life and a revival to snail mail scams and physical scams like that. Whether it's a postcard scam like we have up here on the screen. So anyway, be aware of free gift cards they receive in the mail, free offers like this, especially if they have a QR code to scan. Be aware of QR code codes in general and scanning them. And look, I get the irony of telling you not to scan QR codes while I have a QR code on my screen. But I'm going to use that as an example of ways you can verify and trust whether or not you trust the QR code, right? First of all, the QR code I have on my screen, for example, the website address that it's pointing to is listed there right under it, right? You could skip the QR code altogether and just go directly to scamaware101.com/donate, right? And the safest QR code, what I like to say is the safest QR code is one you don't even have to scan. And that's the point. So right off the bat, if you see the URL listed there, it says where it's supposed to go. You just skip the QR code altogether and just go directly to the website if you trust that website, right? Which in my case, scamaware101.com. There you go. It's my website, scamaware101.com/donate. The second thing you could do is when you scan the QR code, it will give you a preview of where it points to. So if you want to scan a QR code, at least confirm before opening where it goes to. At least when it gives you the preview of the link, confirm where it points to. Looks like it's the legit location at least, right? At least preview it and make sure it looks like it goes to the correct place. But if you could bypass the QR code altogether, bypass it altogether. The best way to do it. There's an alternative option, right? And if they're trying to hide other ways and force you to use a QR code too, be suspicious. You know, if they're really offering a free gift, they should have been able to have a website URL included. You know, on that example, there's no reason to force you to scan a QR code. So anyway, be suspicious of QR codes. And it's an example of how snail mail scams are becoming popular again. All right. A few more scams to go over here. Two more snail mail scams that we're talking about. So get those likes in. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button or liked us yet, hit that thumbs up. Get those likes in. We're coming up to maybe the last 30 minutes or so of our live stream here. Still got time to click like, subscribe, help spread awareness. You also join our free mailing list. Don't forget that one. If you do anything, join the free mailing list. It gives us a way to keep in touch with you and let you know when new content is posted. You can do that on scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. Also make sure to follow us, your favorite social media. Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're most active on Facebook and YouTube though. So trying to get our followers up on Facebook as well. So if you don't follow us yet, help us out. Facebook.com/scamaware101 and hit like and follow. Once we get our follower count up to 500, I think we can start receiving stars or something like that on there. So we got to hit 500 first. So help us out with some Facebook follows. Now let's continue talking about the last couple scams we have here. The last two snail mail scams we're going to talk about this evening. Inheritance scams. The victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative, but to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details. These scams exploit curiosity and greed to steal money and identity information. Look, so these inheritance scams, we see plenty of email versions of this scam too, but I'm going to show you an example of a snail mail version. This is an actual letter, and you see it's dated November 29th, 2024, so it's still less than a year old. And it's a letter that has fake letterhead, it has law office listed, a logo listed. And how these inheritance scams work is they trick the victim into paying fees and taxes first, thinking that they're going to get inheritance afterwards. But the scammers steal whatever fees and taxes they were tricked into paying. There is no inheritance. And this letter, in this example, basically, it claims to be from a law office in Canada. One of their deceased clients who shares the same last name as the person this letter is addressed to, was a COVID-19 victim, died 4 years ago. She has a $10,800,000, so $10.8 million inheritance. And since you share the same last name, you're entitled to that inheritance. and they're asking to partner with you since they're a law office. They're claiming they'll be able to facilitate the whole thing for you in a professional and confidential manner. And they also say this claim requires a high level of confidentiality. It may take up to 30 days from the day I receive your consent. Right. So notice the request for confidentiality. There's that red flag we mentioned earlier when we talked about the red flags. Right. When they're requesting confidentiality, it should be a red flag. You know, why are they telling you to keep it a secret? If you want to tell somebody about inheritance, that's up to you. It's not their position to tell you not to tell anybody. And the thing about this scam is, you know, if you do a quick Google search for whether it's the law office or some text from the letter, you find so many other people reporting this exact same letter. They received this exact same letter, except the person it's addressed to, the last name, is switched to whoever it's addressed to, and then they also have the client's last name match that. So the rest of the letter is identical, but hundreds of other people received the same letter, you know, with their name using the last name of their family. So be aware of this type of scam. The letters are still circulating. You know, this one's less than a year old. And we see email versions of similar scams all the time, like this, claiming that there's an inheritance. A Nigerian prince is going to leave you some inheritance. So be aware. These types of scams are still out there. You can't trust it just necessarily because it comes as a letter. Still got to verify it and confirm what's going on. Let me know in the chat if you've ever gotten a letter like this or you know someone who has. Let me know if you even got the email version of this scam. All right, got one more snail mail scam coming up to discuss here. And we actually did a video about this scam. This next scam we're going to talk about is actually referred to as a secret shopper, secret survey scam. Right, so it's a secret survey check scam. Also known as a mystery shopper scam. But the version we're going to show you, since we're talking about snail mail scams, is a letter is actually received in the mail. And the envelope that contains this letter impersonates Walgreens and CVS. But the envelope also contains a check. So the victim receives this very convincing letter with a check enclosed already. This letter claims to be from Walgreens and CVS. And it says, congratulations, you've been selected as a secret survey mystery shopper. You've been assigned a secret survey assignment. All right, and they claim that the enclosed check is to cover a commission of $450 and also to purchase gift cards as a secret shopper. Right? So the check is for $2,480. Right? And the letter instructs you to deposit that check and then within 12 to 24 hours purchase the gift cards as a secret shopper. Right, so it instructs you to purchase $2,000 worth of gift cards, and then you keep the extra $450 as a commission. But how this scam works is the victim doesn't realize it, but when they deposit the check, 2 or 3 days later, it's going to bounce. They're going to get notified by the bank that the check was bad, and that $2,480 is going to disappear. Meanwhile, they sent $2,000 worth of gift cards to the scammer already, so it's too late. They're never going to get that $2,000 back. And that's how a scam works. That's why it instructs the victim to deposit the check and then act within 12 to 24 hours to purchase the gift cards. Because the scammer knows that you only have a certain amount of time before you realize the check's no good. We did a video about this scam, and I posted this example in the video with the check example and all that. And recently, we received 2 recent comments on that video of people confirming they received this letter. So this letter's circulating. This scam is still circulating. People are still receiving this letter with a fake check included. Here's a second example of this scam. Letter's a little different, but it's the same idea. It impersonates Walgreens and CVS. It includes the check with the letter. Now this one instructs the 3 gift cards, though. And you get to keep a $400 commission. So some interesting things about this example. And again, the red flag is gift cards. This is a clever way that they worked gift cards into the scam. But whenever you hear gift cards, it should set off red flags, red alerts in your head, because scammers prefer gift cards. Anything involving gift cards could indicate you're dealing with a scammer. Right? We talked about that on the red flags. But what's interesting about these letters, though, is in this example, the scammer requests Apple gift cards. That's the only type of gift card they want. They want Apple gift cards. They instruct the victim to purchase 3 $500 Apple gift cards. And that has a list of stores that the victim should go to purchase those gift cards. It says Walgreens, Best Buy, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, Family Dollar, Meijer, Kroger, Safeway, Dollar General, Walmart, Speedway, Albertsons. Right? So it wants the victim to go purchase Apple gift cards at any of those stores. This other version of the scam here, in this letter, this scammer wants the victim to either go to CVS or Walgreens. Right? It doesn't mention any other stores. But as far as gift cards go, it'll take a few different ones. It says that they'll take Apple gift cards, Razer Gold gift cards, Nike gift cards, or Steam Wallet gift cards. Whereas this scammer will take a few different gift cards, $500 each, and instructs. But it's the same scam, same deal. They both claim that you've been selected for a secret survey assignment. They both have the check, the bad check, included with them. That check's going to bounce once you deposit it. So that's how that scam works. It's currently circulating. Watch out for it. Just because it arrives in the mail, it has a check, doesn't mean you can trust it. Yeah, so scammers still use the Postal Service to target individuals with snail mail scams. Just because you receive a letter in the mail, it doesn't mean it can be trusted, right? Another takeaway, don't trust unsolicited letters that include a check in the envelope. Even if a check appears legitimate, that doesn't mean that it's real. If you deposit that check and it's bad, you're going to get hit with a fine or a fee from the bank. So you don't even want to deposit that check unless you know it's good. If anything, you want to call the issuing bank with a check and try to confirm the funds are available with them. But it's a risk to deposit it. You know, when it bounces, the bank's going to hit you with a bad check fee. So any request to purchase gift cards should be considered a red flag. Scammers love receiving gift cards, right? We repeat this many times. We see it in the victim stories. We see it in the examples here. Be suspicious of any request for gift cards. And finally, receiving a job offer without applying is a red flag. You just randomly get this letter saying, hey, you've been selected. You didn't even apply for this. All right. And legitimate offers won't ask you to deposit and send money back. You know, in this case, they're asking for gift cards back, but still, it's the same deal. So anyway, watch out for this type of snail mail scam. It's known as a secret survey check scam, otherwise known as mystery shopper scam. Again, we did a video about this one we have on our YouTube channel. We'll give you some more examples on there. We analyze it a little deeper there for you. So go check out that video on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. And share it with a loved one. Help spread awareness. And that's it. We covered about 20 different types of scams on this live stream. And that's it for the scam coverage portion. But we still have the final portion of the live stream coming up here. It's my favorite part of the live stream here. It usually lasts 15, 20 minutes or so. And we'll take a look at the scam tracker map over on the AARP website. See what scams are being reported, which scams to watch out for. Get an idea if the scams we covered are still trending, and if there's other scams that we should briefly discuss to be aware of. It's a fun portion of the live stream and my favorite portion. So if you're still here, let me know in the chat that you're watching. Let me know you hung in there and you're ready for this last portion of the live stream here. And give us a thumbs up if you haven't yet. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. We need it. That's what keeps us going over here. If you joined late, my name is Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness about common scams. We just finished covering about 20 different types of scams. We showed a whole bunch of examples of emails and text messages. We played some phone calls of these scams. We even showed you some snail mail versions of these scams, some letters that are still circulating, some QR code versions of these scams. We jam-packed this live stream with information, and we actually just hit 3 hours on the dot here. We started streaming at 5:45 p.m. It's now 8:45 p.m. Eastern, so we've been going for 3 hours. And we're going to go for about another 15 minutes or so. So let me know you're still watching, and let me know if you've encountered any of the scams we're about ready to talk about over on our scam tracker map. And if you want to donate financially, we'll take them. We need all the help we could get. So scan that QR code on your screen or go to scamaware101.com/donate. Donate directly. We appreciate it. Or you could use the super thanks option over here on YouTube. We'll take what we could get. Make sure to join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. So let's talk about this scam tracker map provided by AARP. I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about the tools and software page on our website. So if you go to scamaware101.com, click tools and software, and we have a link all the way at the bottom. It's the last link here to the AARP scam tracking map. Now, what's fun about this map is it's based on all the recent reports received by AARP, scam reports. It shows on a map where they're coming in from. But we're going to take a look at some of the recent reports and see what's going on, what people are reporting, what scams are circulating. And the most recent reports we have are from yesterday. So a day old, July 14th. All right, so we're going to take a look at a whole bunch of reports that came in July 14th and see what people are saying about scams. Let's see, lottery-related scam. Call telling me I want a BMW and $850,000 cash, wanting $295 delivery fee up front while on the phone. Right, okay, there you go. That's a good scam we could talk about. Those are lottery scams. Be aware of these. These are actually pretty common. These lottery scams or sweepstake scams, you get an unsolicited phone call about some lottery or some prize that you won. You didn't even enter for this prize or lottery. But you get a phone call, and they tell you want a BMW or some other prize, or you won money. But, of course, before you can receive it, they'll ask you to pay some type of fees or taxes on the winnings. And that's how the scam works. Similar to the inheritance scam. You think that you have a big lump sum of money coming to you, right? The scammer convinces you that you have a lot of money coming your way, but you just got to pay fees and taxes first. And that's a scam. That's what they steal from you. They steal the fees and the taxes from you. All right, so this person reported a lottery scam. It happened to him yesterday. So watch out for these unsolicited phone calls claiming you won a lottery or sweepstakes. There's another report. Received text regarding a job position with eBay part-time. Knew it was a scam since pay was high for only part-time. So if you get a random text message, unsolicited text message about a job position, we've seen examples where it's TikTok. They claim to be with TikTok and other popular companies, or with a recruiter. In this case, they claim to be with eBay, right? Real job recruitment companies, they're not going to be sending out random text messages like this. Legitimate, job offers aren't going to be through unsolicited text message. So be suspicious off the bat for these text messages claiming there's a job offer to you. Second of all, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And these employment offers, 99% of the time they're scams. They're coming in via text message. They're too good to be true. So watch out for these employment scams. A lot of them do start off with a text message, and they'll say something like, send us a message or reply on WhatsApp. Right? So there's that red flag about using WhatsApp. So there you go, employment scams. Watch out for text message offering employment scams. So there we go. This is why we do the AARP scam tracking map, right? The first two scams reported we didn't cover. So it's a way for us just to get an idea of some other scams that are popping up and give you something new each live stream here. Let's see what other scams were reported yesterday. Email from Xfinity claiming my service had been disconnected and where to return equipment, plus clicking to pay bill. All right, so that's a scam trying to get them to pay a fake bill. Right. In this case, it impersonates Xfinity, but any email that comes in claiming they have to pay for a service or a renewal is coming up or billing failed and to click here, be suspicious of it. It's a very common trick used with email scams. It's called email phishing. send an email out. They try to trick you to access a fake website. In this case, they'll say, click here to pay the bill, or click here to reactivate your service. But it's fake. They'll steal whatever information you provide. Government imposter scam. Man called me saying he was from county sheriff's office, asked for my sister, and he had confidential and legal matters to discuss. We've been hearing about this one for a little bit now. Let me take a look at the details and see if this is the one. Mentioned it was a time-sensitive matter. Okay, so she doesn't give too much details about it, but we do know that there's a scam going around. They call you, they claim they're with a sheriff's office or legal law enforcement office. Sometimes they tell you to call back with a PIN number or account number. I wish this gave more details so we go into it, but since it doesn't, I don't really know the specific scam that go into. But I think the main takeaway across the board is anybody claiming to be from the government, right? We talked about IRS scams. We talked about warrant arrest scams. We talked about Social Security scams, and those are all cases where they're impersonating the government. And in this case, they're impersonating the sheriff's office, right? So there's the law enforcement impersonation. Anybody reaching out to you directly or reaching out to you about somebody directly, unsolicited, right? Be suspicious if they're impersonating a government agency. There's nothing wrong with hanging up and calling back directly to verify. Confirming the actual phone number and agency and calling back directly. But anyway, let's take a look at what other scams are being reported here. On the ARP scam tracker map. Identity theft. Need recommendation for early son. I received a note stating that my phone. All right, let's see what this person has to say. See if they give enough details for us to discuss. Need recommendation. Early Sunday morning, I received a note stating that my phone service had been canceled. Asked to check the boxes as to whether this was valid or not. I checked the boxes to the service. Later realized there was a problem. Yeah, I checked the phone. All right, I have no idea what she's talking about there, so we're going to skip that one. Cryptocurrency scams and fraud. Essentially, this scammer DM'd me on TikTok and started saying things like he wanted to take care of me and be my sugar daddy. All right, we're definitely going to read this one. Let's see what the full story is. Now we're getting to the good stuff, people. Let's get into the soap opera stuff here. All right. Essentially, a scammer DM'd me on TikTok and started saying things like he wanted to take care of me and be my sugar daddy. I knew it was a scam immediately. I just wanted to get proof, and sure enough, the red flags started popping up. Broken English, sob story. I don't have Venmo. I don't use insert blank. Here's a link we could use instead. PayPal email with BTC in the description. Interesting. I'd like to see more examples of this one. But, scammer reached out on TikTok. And look, social media platforms, they're a breeding ground for scammers. We have a video in progress that we'll be releasing eventually, and it's about all the scams that are just on Facebook comments alone. So TikTok, Facebook, any social media network community like that, the scammers are on there like crazy. Okay, received a text from Easy Group saying final notice, enforcement penalties begin July 15th, unpaid toll balance. All right, so there we go. There's the unpaid road toll scam that we talked about earlier. This one's extremely common. We'll probably see a couple more reports of this one as we go through these reports, but that's an example of the unpaid road toll scam. If you get a text message claiming you owe a toll, be suspicious. If you had missed that portion of our live stream, go check out the video we have on our YouTube channel about the unpaid road toll scam. Let's check out 5 more reports here on the scam tracker map, and then we'll get this wrapped up. So last chance to leave a comment here in the chat over in YouTube, ask a question, interact. Let's see. 2 people or 1 person claiming to want money to send me $10,000, claiming they need the money to pay. Let's see, what is this? Check scam. All right, let's get a little more details about this check scam. 2 people or 1 person claiming to want money, $1,000, to send me $100,000, claiming they need the money to pay the taxes, etc. All right, didn't get enough details, but what this comes down to is when someone comes at you claiming you're entitled to a lot of money, right? And in this case, it sounded like it's some kind of deal where it's like, you pay us $1,000, we'll give you $100,000, and probably some kind of investment scam or whatever. But they say you need to pay taxes and fees to recover the money. It's always a red flag. Money out of nowhere, and then they're gonna hit you with fees and taxes before they give you anything. Not going to read that next one. Auto-related scam. I had a text message about a month ago purporting to be from the NY State DMV. It said I had unpaid traffic. So, yep, so there we go. Another unpaid road toll scam text message. Those are still going around. They're impersonating the DMV and all sorts of different toll agencies. So be suspicious. Next one, scam artist posing as a chimney cleaner. He advertised for a remote telemarketer to call homeowners for cleaning. I don't know much about that specific scam, so we're going to skip over that one. No, let's look at one more page. Here we go. Here's a good one. Cryptocurrency scams and fraud. All right, so these reports came from 2 days ago. So we just finished the first day, one day. Let's check. These are from 2 days ago now. Cryptocurrency scams and fraud. My wife sent money to someone posing as Elon Musk. There we go. So that points out a couple of different scams. Celebrity impersonation, huge scam. Need to be aware of it. And Elon Musk is actually one of the most commonly impersonated celebrities out there. In fact, over on YouTube, there's so many videos that they're AI. They look like they're Elon, and they say send cryptocurrency to this address, and I'll send it back to you. But they're scams. And that might have been what this woman fell for. One of those videos that says, hey, I'm Elon, I'm going back to you. If you send me this, I'll double it and send it back. But it's a scam. It's not really Elon Musk. And with AI, they make it look like it's him. He's talking and they make it look like it's him, but it's AI. So, celebrity impersonation is a big problem. Lots of celebrities are warning about fake profiles and scamming their fans out of things. Auto-related scam. California State Department of Vehicles, DMV, final notice. Penalties begin. Our records show there's going to be another unpaid road toll scam. That one's still hot, man. That one's still going around like crazy. You get any text message about unpaid tolls, be suspicious. Don't click the links. Don't call the numbers. From cloud storage, your iCloud data is at risk of deletion. You must update your payment information. The classic example of an email phishing scam. They claim that an account is going to expire. You need to update payment information for something, but it's going to link to a fake website that steals your payment information. Last one we're going to look at. I got an email saying that my PayPal account was used to pay a large bill. I called the number, but it was clear it was a scam. Yes, that's an example of a fake order scam, right? Fake order notification scam. That's the one we talked about earlier, where I showed you the text message, Apple Pay, fake notification, and played the 2 phone call recordings, fake order notifications. Well, in this person's case, they got an email from PayPal, but it's a fake email claiming an order was placed. When she calls a number to dispute it, it's connected to scammers. It's not really PayPal. So be suspicious of any emails that claim to be from PayPal. Scammers, they love to impersonate PayPal, and they're always sending out these phishing emails claiming to be from PayPal. I think that's a good scam to wrap up on here. So that's the ARP scam tracker map. It's always a fun way to wrap up this live stream. Check on the recent scams being reported and share them with you. Hey, Bill G. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, road toll scam's annoying. So many different versions. Every week, too, a new version. They're impersonating everybody. And they're only going to get worse. The holidays are approaching. So what's going to happen is the scammers know that people travel during the holidays. There's holiday travel. So they're going to start sending out even more of these scam text messages for road tolls. So we're going to see those spike again. Watch out for them coming up soon. Those and the undeliverable package scams, we're going to start getting hit by those constantly in the upcoming months. But that's what we do, is spread awareness, let your friends and family know. That's key. And that concludes most of our live stream here. We're going to get this wrapped up. Thank you all for attending the weekly live stream. I know we did it a couple days earlier this week, but we usually do it on Thursdays. So we'll be going back to that regular Thursday schedule next week. So make sure to tune in next Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time, for the usual weekly live stream. Have some exciting announcements coming next week, so be sure to tune in. If you haven't joined our free mailing list yet, go to scamaware101.com, click join mailing list. It's free to join. Make sure to check your junk folder. We send you a confirmation email to confirm. So make sure to check your junk folder to confirm. Also, follow us on social media: Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, YouTube. We're on all your favorite social media at ScamAware101. If you can't find us, we have links right here on our homepage. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Follow us on Facebook. If you're watching our live stream over on Instagram and Facebook, leave a comment, hit that like button. Last chance to give us some love. And of course, again, if you want to help out financially, scan that QR code on your screen or go to scamaware101.com/donate. We'll take the donations and we'll appreciate it. Help support our mission financially. Or hit that super thanks over here on YouTube. Super thanks enabled that you should see over there. And you could also buy some merchandise from our merch store over on our YouTube channel. Check our YouTube store. We've got some Scamaware 101 coffee mugs, mouse pads, and some other merchandise available. So help support the cause by buying some merchandise. All right, everybody, that's it for this week's live stream. Thank you so much for attending again. I appreciate you all. We'll be back again next week on Thursday. So until next week, have a safe weekend, remainder of the week. And we'll talk to you next Thursday. We appreciate you all. Have a good one. It takes forever to stop all these live streams.